everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday show. As soon as XSplit changes the scene, there it is. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday show. Another week of fighting game news with your trio of hosts. Myself, I am James Chen.
What's up? I'm Ultra David.
And I'm Tupperware.
All right, sweet. Also, check out James's hair today. I like it. I might have to change how my hair looks later on in our break. Gotta match that. I feel like I'm under some pressure here.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm also gonna do.
And you
Oh
too,
wait,
right?
okay. Nope. Sorry, never mind.
Not quite. Maybe in 10 years from into the
Nope,
past.
I'm staying bald forever, man.
Definitely, yeah. Once that happens, you're stuck. We got a good show for you today. There's actually quite a bit of stuff to talk about. At first, it seemed like there wasn't going to be that much, but it has ended up being kind of a cool show. So we're going to be talking about the Dragon Ball FighterZ show and the associated updates, the patch, the new character that's come out, that sort of stuff. We're going to have an interview with St. Cola where we are going to chat about him and commentary. We are going to talk about tournament results because some things happened. A few things happened, actually. We're going to talk about 5-5 matchup. We have 5 questions that are out there. We'll see which one of those, or maybe multiple, we'll get to. And there's some other news, too. Some game news. There's some Twitch stuff to talk about. There's somebody left a company called Capcom. There's some other stuff to discuss. But let's begin by talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ. So, over the weekend, there was a show that is now being hosted by Damascus and Tyrant.
Yeah.
And that show is a great mix of things, before we get to what they actually talked about. Damascus as host and Tyrant as host, two guys who are very well deserving of that kind of thing. They have been commentating Dragon Ball since the game came out. They're clearly super invested, not just in the game, but in Dragon Ball as a property.
Sure, yeah, of course.
So I think that's super cool for them, and it was quite a long show. They invited on guests. They had matches that they showed. They had a show match. They had a full breakdown of the patch notes. They had a full breakdown of Master Roshi. I loved it. I mean, again, even before we get to the stuff that they discussed. I felt like it was the great mix of what we've seen from other folks in the past. Capcom Pro Talk-ish in the sense of inviting on people and kind of razzing each other.
Yeah.
NRS Combat Cast-ish in the sense of introducing a new character or talking about things that are going on in the community. And then KI New Character Breakdown. I just felt like they had a great mix of all this stuff.
Yeah, and they have a lot of examples to go by, right? So I think it was really clever and smart of them to go, Capcom Pro Talk did this well, NRS did this well, Iron Galaxy did this well, take everything and put it all together. And honestly, they couldn't have chose better hosts, like you said, man.
Yeah.
These guys love not only Dragon Ball FighterZ, but also Dragon Ball, the whole universe.
Definitely.
It's as soon as when you were talking about the fact that Tyrant and Damascus are the host, I pumped my fist because seriously, it's just wonderful that they did that and gave them that kind of opportunity. I often talk about one of my favorite things about the fighting game community is giving opportunities to people to do stuff that they never thought that they would. Like one of my favorite examples is Ringe being able to do the NJPW commentary at CEO, right?
Yeah.
And I as lifelong Dragon Ball fans, as it's very clear that they are, I got to imagine Damascus and Tyrant and they love fighting games, so they get to do this all together. It's just got to be you love to see them getting the people with the right passion, and it's awesome. I'm super happy for them.
For sure. And, I don't know what their long-term plans are, but I would love to see more of this regularly, even if there's not some big news. This was a lot of news to talk about. The new patch, new character stuff. But I would love to see
Lab Chi is
regular thing.
Lab Chi is coming in here and doing the thing with the with the September.
Thanks for the subs, Lab Chi. The gifted subs to 20 people. Wow, thanks, buddy. I hope that you're doing all right up there. The west coast of Canada is suffering a bit too right now, so I hope that things are okay where you're living.
Yeah. Dang, shout outs to Lab Chi.
Thank you very much.
I mean,
much obliged.
He goes around and he helps out as many streams as he feels like, he basically has kind of like a, this month I'm going to help this stream. So, Lapchi does a lot of cool things.
Much obliged, my man.
Dope. Thanks.
Again, I would love to just see this regularly. If they just had, maybe not every week, but like every once a month or something, just like some regular period of time where we could get those guys talking about the game, where the community could interface, where they could have show matches, whatever, right? A lot of different stuff I think they could do. I would really like to see that more often.
And like you said, maybe not weekly, dude. I want to see it weekly. Like,
okay.
I think back to Capcom Pro Talk, and honestly, like, obviously nobody's Mike Ross, right? That dude is one of a kind,
Yeah.
But not to take away from Tyner or Damascus, but I feel like they could maybe put something on like that where they have show matches and they talk a bunch of shit to each other and just. I feel like Capcom Pro Talk ending, however you want to put it, left a big void in the FGC. And even if you weren't a Street Fighter fan, people love the show. And I feel like if you do the same for Dragon Ball FighterZ, even if you don't love Dragon Ball FighterZ, if you put on a good show, people will watch. So I would be pumped if they did it weekly too. That would be awesome.
That would basically mean Europe rules the weekly show.
That's true.
Because Capcom is doing a lot of good stuff with the Logan and such. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. Logan and Femi.
Yeah, they're doing regular interviews with people. They're doing great intros of upcoming tournaments. Yeah, for sure. But that's great. I mean, I'm really happy for everybody involved in that. And yeah, I guess, I would be happy to see it every week. I just don't know if there's that might be difficult to make content for, but I would certainly love to watch it. And I gotta tell you, dude, I watched almost this whole thing. And I'm not particularly a Dragon Ball FighterZ guy.
Right.
But I seriously watched it all. I might have basically fast-forwarded through the character balance patch, because that kind of went over the old dome there. But for the rest of it, yeah, I watched the show matches. I heard them talk about the scenes and the players, and I thought it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was well done. Definitely well done.
Yeah.
All right. So as far as the stuff that they did discuss, they discussed the upcoming National Championship Invitational tournaments. We talked about this when they first announced that it was going to happen, but now we know more details. So there are National Championship Invitationals that have 8 players for each of France, Japan, Spain, US East, and US West. And in each of those, they didn't just pick players that are maybe the big names. They are paying attention to who's doing well. So, for example, they talked about how in US West, some of the players, if you're not somebody who's regularly following DBFZ, aka me, you might not know, for example, who Jonathan Tene is. I don't know, but they said that he's been winning Wednesday night fights. So, I mean, they're really paying attention, and they're really trying to get the players who are currently doing well and rewarding them with this opportunity and giving them a chance to perform and giving the people who want to watch better matches. I think it's super great.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, we don't have offline tournaments to go by, so they're going to take the online results and go from there. But I fully agree. I think that's what you should do as a company. If you're trying to run an esports division, you need to keep up with what's going on right now. And I think part of the problem that we, as fighting game commentators and players and TOs, think about is we're always worried about invitationals, right? But part of that worry is the same 15 guys get invited all the time.
Yes.
So if you're not doing that as a company, if you're inviting new faces, fresh faces to come and play, that's really cool. It's a good way to go about doing that.
Yeah, and you got to wonder as well if, Damascus and Tyrant and, have a lot more to do with it, than just even being show hosts, or maybe they're actually, trying to communicate with a lot more of the community as well to help decide that, because you're right. I haven't heard of Jonathan Tene before, but if he's been winning all the Wednesday night fights and they got him in there, that's perfect. That's great. I love that because, a lot of the exhibitions, they get derided for just picking, known names and such, even if some of the players aren't even playing anymore.
Right, exactly. Yep.
So it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, and I don't mean to pick on Jonathan per se. It was just something that stood out to me. In each of these lists, there's people who I've never heard.
Hey, look,
I'm just not following the scene, so I think it's really great to find out who
we're
they are.
praising him right now. you know,
Right,
we're congratulating
right.
him for making it in
Oh,
there,
for sure.
and we're super happy for him. So yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
so-
was cool, as they had, by the way, oh, now I don't remember. I should have written down. They had Riza, the MK and DBFZ dude from France, and they had a Spanish representative of the Spain FGC on as well when they were talking about this. I wish I'd written the name down. Let me know in the chat. But what they said, I thought was interesting. They definitely think that Japan has the strongest scene. That's like maybe not a big surprise. But then they said, other than Sonic Fox and the Kill Sage, they think that France has the strongest scene among all of these. US West, US East, Spain, France. That's the one that they're looking at.
Bias. No, just kidding.
The Spanish rep said the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Sharon.
Yeah,
Right.
overall, France is extremely good.
Yeah.
For sure. No question.
I'm kidding.
The thing is, though, man, I don't like the discussion of who is the best right now because we can't play in person. Like, America can't play in person, guys. Like, Japan, they're probably relatively safe to play in person.
Okay, yeah.
Other countries, we can't play in person. We're stuck online. And that means a lot of our best players kind of just say, forget it, I'm not playing. I'm taking a break from fighting games right now. Because
Has anyone set up a Dragon Ball FighterZ Parsec thing? Like, is that...
Yeah. Coach Steve has been running one.
Okay.
Alucard has been running one. The thing is, though, man, like, you're just replacing delay base for delay base. You know, it's kind of... You know, it's,
Yeah,
like
of
big
course.
step up.
I mean,
yeah, it's not that big of a step. Like, for, like, you know, Marvel, it's unplayable online with the base game, but if you play Parsec, I can play it now.
So in other words...
Dragon Ball FighterZ, it's not good online, but it's almost playable,
Okay,
so the
so-
Parsec upgrade is minimal.
Gotcha. So in other words, the Dragon Ball Online is not, you know, Under Night, Soul Calibur, Marvel
Correct,
3.
correct. Yeah. I mean, it's still not good, but it's
Yeah.
not as bad as some of those. other
Okay,
ones.
fair enough.
Well, and clearly they were thinking about this idea that you can't have a big geographic area in these events because Japan's not a big geographic area, France is not, Spain is not, and then US East and US West are separate. So, I mean, those are still pretty big areas, but, you know, that's about as well as they could do under the circumstances, and that's great. So hats off to them on this. That was cool. They talked about that for a while. They then had a show match between two players from Argentina, and they had the guy who streams the tournaments in Argentina on to talk about it, and they had one of the players on to talk about it, and then that player and the other player played for a while. So look, this is a show hosted by two players in the UK, one of whom from France or North Africa, France.
Yeah.
And then they have a show match from Argentina, and they're talking about these matches that are going to take place: U.S. West, U.S. East, Japan, Spain, France. Like they're thinking about this so globally, and I thought that was actually one of my favorite parts about the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, fighting games, the best thing about them is that they are a universal language, and you can see it, right? Whenever the players get together at offline events, you know, back in the day, you know, when I was a young lad, when we actually gathered for offline
Which was a
events.
Wednesday, by the way.
What's that?
Back in the day, it was a Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah. and the crazy thing is, like, you would see people get together and, like, they could barely speak to each other, you know, because they spoke different languages. But, man, the amount of fun and enjoyment and just, you know, passion and laughter that they would get from playing each other and, you know, just being able to smile, nod, shake hands, you know, or one more game, put up the finger for one more game. You know, it's the fighting game community is truly worldwide, international. We had the Pakistan story from last year, you know, and everything like this. Right. And so, you know, that they're spending so much effort to highlight the multicultural, you know, facet of the Dragon Ball community, especially because Latin America loves Dragon Ball so much. Like,
well, it's just a really popular IP. Yeah, like this is not just about the game itself being popular. It's about like everybody in the world liking Dragon Ball. There's like no country that doesn't care about it. It's one of those global things. So I think that they're really paying attention to that, and that seems to be paying off.
Yeah, they're doing what they should be.
Let's talk about Master Roshi. which they then discussed. They invited on Apology Man. Here's something cool. They, I guess, gave Apology Man like an advanced copy of
What?
Master Roshi. Yeah, because they had him on the show as they were describing Master Roshi's moves. They had Tyrant like in his own training mode, and they had that broadcast onto the stream. And the whole while, like, Tyrant was talking about it, Damascus was talking about it, and then they'd be like, "Hey, Apology Man, like, what do you think about this move? What are some important options for Master Roshi? What do you think about this character?" And they had him like very integrated into the show. And they, in fact, even had a set that he showed of him playing versus somebody else, Master Roshi versus somebody else. So like he had a copy, I guess, and I don't know that I can remember that happening in like any of these kinds of shows before.
I mean, look,
Yeah, that was
NorCal is
definitely new to me.
NorCal is
Yeah.
infamous for getting copies of games early, right? I mean, if you peel back,
Okay.
as long as you peel back the curtain, you know, we definitely
all right.
have seen that before.
Heyo.
But congratulations to Apology Man, that's cool.
Super cool. Yeah,
Listen,
they had a
first
combo
and foremost-
foremost where he was in there. It was cool.
Yeah, Vinith deserves nothing.
Oh,
All right, he should not have been there. They should have gave it to someone who deserved it. A Piccolo that wins like Hook Gang God, not Vinith. All right. I'm
You're not
just
gonna give
kidding,
props
yeah.
to
I love Vinith. So,
I know.
like a side story, real quick. At Combo Breaker, the last one that we had, I pulled
Back in my
Vinith
day.
aside, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, hey man, did you know that you're my favorite Dragon Ball FighterZ player? And it like blew his mind. He ran to his friends. He's like, I'm Tupperware's favorite Dragon Ball FighterZ player, and they were like, all right, man, that's cool. He was so excited about it. So. Yeah, no,
He's a good guy.
I love Apology.
Vinith
Man.
is another one of those guys that you can tell is, you know, he speaks to my heart because he's such an emotional player. And you know me and my emotions. And I mean, you see it when he wins and when he loses as well. No one takes it harder when he loses than Vinith does. So I love that guy. I have so much compassion for him as a player. So shout outs to him.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's really cool that they gave him a few days with Roshi, and he did know about the Piccolo buffs. He tweeted out, "I'm so glad I can finally talk about my boy getting buffed." So he absolutely did have the game or this patch a little bit
Yeah.
earlier than everybody else.
That's so cool that they have the ability to do that. That they thought about doing that. That they actually did it. Like all of that is new. So
Yeah,
I'm really happy about that. And then as far as Master Roshi himself, Brock, do you want to talk about what this character does? What's
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
obviously, just before you start, we heard that he's not going to have any super dash, which everybody was like,
yeah, I'll get into
when
that.
everyone's like, this
I
character's
actually-
going to suck. But what does it turn out? How does it actually play out?
He might have something that could be potentially better than Super Dash in return for not having one.
okay?
So just to kind of talk about Roshi a little bit, people are either on the he looks okay or he's gonna be broken. There's no like he's definitely strong or he'll be upper mid tier. Like no, people are like or he's gonna be broken. Like there's no in between
Shock.
on people's hot take, right?
Shock.
The way I feel after viewing, I actually watched JM Croft's breakdown on him like an hour or so ago. I was streaming myself watching it, but the way I feel is his normals look pretty stubby. He does have an auto combo that locks people down, so that's pretty nice. He has his 6H dashes across the screen and he ends up behind his opponent, so he's able to like call an assist, hit 6H, and then he's pressuring you immediately. He has a lot of really cool tools like that to make up kind of for his stubby-ish normals. The super dash thing is really, really interesting. So on the ground and in the air, he has two different options. On the ground, he has this weird hop. It looks like you ever seen like somebody doing the long jump in the Olympics?
Yes.
It looks like somebody doing that, but you know, obviously
It's a
he's
super jump.
yeah, essentially,
It's like
but
a command super
not
jump.
vertically, horizontally.
Yeah.
And it's invincible to Key Blast. So it essentially functions just like a Super Dash. However, it doesn't automatically track.
Okay.
The turnaround for that is you can aim it, from what I understand, and also it has more block stun and more hit stun than a super dash does.
So it hits
has
basically.
different angles from the ground, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, you can definitely come from different angles and aim it and all that.
So it's not just a
in
jump.
the air. Oh, go ahead, James.
It's not just a jump. It actually is an attack as well. Like
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a super dash without the super dash properties.
Right. Okay.
In the air, however, he has a reverse Kamehameha wave. So he throws Kamehameha. It actually is a beam. It's a full-on beam. So he can play keep away with this beam in the air. So he can use it essentially as like an 8-way dash. That's also an attack. So he'll aim one way, his body flies the other.
Huh.
If you block it, you are stuck. Like, you are stuck. He is very plus on block. I think J.M. Croft's example was, he's like, yeah, everybody likes the super dash and call assist, and then you get a mix-up, but he showed that Roshi can actually do that, get 3 overheads, and then go low, or go empty low, and, like, the opponent's just stuck. Like, if you block his super dash, you're stuck there. So it's really strong. But what makes it super interesting is he doesn't have, like, a real jump height that he can do it at. He can activate it, like, pretty much immediately off the ground and shoot it away from himself, and now he has an air beam. So he can not only get out of a situation, but also he's throwing a beam at you while moving backwards.
Huh.
So he has a really, really interesting movement option to kind of zone full screen or get himself out of the corner, etc., etc.
Right.
I think it's really, really dope.
Obviously, as a combo video maker from the past, like, it immediately makes me think of, like, do a move that knocks the opponent far away, call an assist to lock him down, shoot the beam backwards to launch you forward and keep the combo going. I mean, is that something you can do? Can you shoot the beam backwards to launch yourself forward?
Yeah. You can absolutely do that. But the thing is, you have to be in the air to do that.
Oh,
you can't be grounded and do the Kamehameha. Then you get the weird hop that's invincible to Ki Blast.
Right. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you could probably do that potentially, but I'm no combo master, man. I just see people do stuff and then I X copy whatever's out there.
I mean, they showed a touch of death. Like, it's already there.
Oh, yeah. He definitely hits hard.
He was definitely hitting, yeah.
And he also he has 2 level 1s, a level 2 super and a level 3. One of his level 1s, he actually puts people into a bottle, which is like a move that Roshi's done in the past, and will snap them out. If they don't die, it snaps them out. So he has a level 1 that automatically saps people, which is, again, really interesting. And he also has a anti-air command grab that is unblockable. And it goes pretty far. It has 2 different angles. It can go, like, I don't know, like a 70-degree angle or, like, straight up. So people are anticipating him, using his snap out and then on incoming using the unblockable. And
dude, how is that
theoretically, he should be very strong.
How is that going to be fair? Well, if he snaps someone out and then shoots someone coming on in, like, what can that person coming in even do to escape that?
Hold that L. You should be able to block it on incoming, I believe. Also, in Dragon Ball FighterZ, like 3 patches ago, they made it so you can adjust your timing on incoming.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So you have several ways to get out of that situation.
Okay.
But if he has the right assist to set something up, potentially you're going to get Apology Man 300%, from Marvel 3. So
it was unclear to me. So what Vineeth was saying was that it was literally a command grab, not an unblockable anti-air. So if the opponent backdashes while they're in the air, they'll actually escape it, is what he said.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then.
So if you're in block stun, will it work? Because it's a grab.
Right.
JM Cross video said it was an unblockable.
Yeah.
Not a grab. I'll trust Vineeth though.
And that's what Vineeth said. So I don't know, man. That's what I heard. But definitely the angle of it is like, what's the best angle you could think of to knock down people who are doing instant air dash? Like it's like exactly that, like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
55-degree angle, like it's perfect. So
yeah, and then it has one straight above him as well. So
yeah.
Two different very good angles in the Dragon Ball Fighter sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Roshi looks he'll be really interesting at the very least. He'll be very fun to watch, and he's very different from the base cast. I think Dragon Ball Fighters and Bandai Namco and Arxis have done a really, really good job. They kind of went the Street Fighter V route, where the game came out and everybody kind of felt the same-ish.
Yeah.
And over the years, they've really released characters that are not the same as everyone else, and they took more risks, and they got more comfortable with the game engine, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
So Roshi is one of those characters that breaks the mold and looks really, really interesting.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, that it's Street Fighter 5-ish in that sense. A game that, I mean, I liked at the start, but I never thought was like great until season 3 when there were a bunch of different archetypes by that point. They had fixed the lag, they had fixed a bunch of the stuff. And at that point, and since then, it's been one of my favorite games. So I think that's a really good point for Dragon Ball. Again, I'm not somebody who follows it actively, but when I watch it nowadays, I think it looks super sick. Like, the characters seem to be doing things that I don't remember being in the game, and it looks a lot more interesting. Yeah. And Roshi in particular, like, if I were to play this game, it looks like the kind of character I would want to use, that kind of weirdo.
I mean, even like all the tech that's been showing up on Twitter with the patch dropping, you know, I don't know what parts are new or what parts are old because I haven't been following it. But like, I was a Tien player in season 1, and some of the combo paths that he's doing are just completely like what the hell? Like, when did this show up? And you know, it's so much more interesting. Like, it's cool to see that they're doing, like, the combos seem to have opened up. But you know, speaking of the patch, I mean, it sounds like this game really got kind of the shot in the arm, right? That it kind of needed at this point.
Yeah, that's how it's looking, man. That's how it's looking. I know the last major balance patch, people went, "Oh my god, this game is crazy now." And yeah, sure. This patch, oh my god, this game looks crazy now. I'm definitely getting like more Marvel vibes, and like, again, I think the devs are just feeling more comfortable being like, look, man, people understand at this point, you know, 3 years into the game, that it's not necessarily a game for beginners just because auto combo is there. Like, this game is hard, and to do all the really dope shit you want to do in the game, you're gonna have to be a good fighting game player. So here's stuff that's kind of like Marvel, and it's gonna be real cheap, and good luck.
Hey, you know, David and I have been saying forever, there's no such thing as a simple fighting game.
Absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about the patch a little bit. Like, who's a winner? Who's a loser? What do you got?
Goku Black is a loser.
Okay.
Goku Black went untouched, besides they adjusted 2 of his assists. Yeah, big L for Goku Black. A lot of people are super pissed off about that.
Does he suck already?
He just has there's no way for him to open people up. His high-low game is real whack. He's just too basic. Like, there's no real reason to play him over, especially now, Super Saiyan Goku, who got his 2M back.
Okay.
So Super Saiyan Goku, in the last patch, basically lost the ability to use his 2M in combos. I mean, he could do his base, like, A, B, C combo or whatever, but he lost his sparking loops. He has those back now. So there's really no reason to play Goku Black whatsoever when you could pick like 3 or 4 other characters that have good beam assists. But yeah, I think Goku Black lost. I think Goku Black lost pretty much.
Dang, okay.
The majority of the cast got stuff that they needed. You were just talking about Tien, James. Tien went from a pretty good anchor, you know, arguably like a top 5 anchor, to probably for sure the best anchor now.
Oh, dang, okay.
So when he's the last character left, I mean, as you guys already know, anytime he uses his supers, he takes a little bit of damage.
Right.
So if he does Tri-Beam, he takes a little bit of damage. Does, you know, super high Tri-Beam, a little bit of damage. Now when he's the last character, that damage is like halved.
Jeez.
Okay.
So he doesn't really eat that much more damage. Chaozu, when he sacrifices Chaozu, that attack does more damage. His volleyball spike does more damage. And they gave him Doom Buttergun. So his Dodon Beam, when he jumps in the air and throws it, it just falls down and covers the screen like Doom Buttergun. Yeah, they've made him real
Dude, it's
strong.
funny because, like, you're sitting here talking about this, and I'm looking at the chat right now, and, like, people are typing up who won and who lost. The only loser that I've seen posted in the chat so far is Goku Black.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been typing winners.
And the messed up part is, like, he didn't actually lose anything, really.
Right.
He just got no buffs. He didn't get anything, and everybody else got stuff.
I just keep picturing that one scene from the cartoon now. Like, I see Goku standing there and they're like, don't buff him! And then the police are all like, no, it's okay, you can buff him, he's not black, you know?
Oh, God, dude. I honestly, I still can't believe when they did the voice acting in English, they didn't add Goku in front of. Don't arrest him. He's not black.
Dude,
I
they
can't
knew.
believe that they didn't just say Goku black.
They knew.
the
They
right-
knew what they were doing. 100%, dude.
I mean, yeah, they had to have, right? But anyways, yeah. So Goku Black got nothing. He got nothing. Sucks to suck. If you're playing Goku Black at this point, it's because you absolutely love the Goku with pink hair for some reason. When you could be playing any other Goku that's for sure better.
Sucks.
Gotenks might have lost a little bit too. So he has the spinning attack and the punchy fist attacks. The spinning attack, the super galactic kick or something like that. I don't know the name. The pushback is not what it used to be. So now there's a little bit of a gap sometimes. But he did gain some abilities with Galactic Donut to where he can just straight up super dash after that now, and it hits assist characters when it didn't before.
Oh, interesting.
So he got some nerfs and buffs.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, people were talking about, oh man, in this current patch, Gotenks is really strong. How do we not see this before? And now all of a sudden he kind of got changed. I don't want to say he got buffed or nerfed. He got changed.
Okay.
So we'll see how that plays out. Blue Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, for sure got buffed. He got buffed pretty heavily. There's been people putting out Touch of Death, where he is solo with no, he doesn't use a super. He'll just touch someone and he kills them without a super.
Wow.
I mean, is it still sparking?
Combo. Oh yeah,
Right,
he will
okay.
be sparking.
Yeah.
And he used a bunch of meter for EX attacks, but
Okay.
they buffed his EX attack. So Blue Vegeta has Rekkas, and all of his Rekka follow-ups are extremely strong now. They do a ton of damage. So if he uses a half a bar to use EX Rekkas, he can do a ton of damage by himself. He also has the ability to full screen confirm into like 70% combos with 1 bar from his Ki Blast now. He can throw a super or a special attack if he whiffs a Ki Blast now, so he has a really good zoning ability. I think he's one of the big winners.
So it sounds like they're
Piccolo is the
really.
big winner. Oh, go ahead, James.
It just sounds like they're really making this the new Marvel. Like
I feel like
Right.
they're trying to make it so everyone is strong.
Yeah.
That's what the patch feels like. It feels like they were like, you know what? Instead of nerfing, we're just gonna make everyone ridiculously cool and strong, and let people have fun. So that's really,
awesome.
really, really dope. And kind of hats off to Bamco and Arctis for doing that, because man, I hate patches that just take things away and make things
Yep.
boring. That's not the way to
For
go.
sure.
Make the games more exciting. The longer we play the games, the better we get at them. So you can throw, wrenches into the gears. You can make things awkward and powerful and strong and exciting. And that's what they're doing. That's what they did with this
Right.
patch.
That's cool.
but I mean,
So Piccolo got good?
Yeah, Piccolo got stronger. Although both him and pretty much anyone who had a Hellzone grenade type attack,
Oh yeah.
where explosions hit the ground,
Right.
they can now be reflected and the explosions don't happen anymore. So that's a slight nerf to Piccolo. Other than that, though, he has more combo ability now. It sounds like they made one of his assists better. I don't know. I'd have to actually turn on the game and try him out myself to really get a feel for it. But yeah, he definitely got buffed. And he wasn't weak either. He just was played a little bit less. I guess they want more people playing Piccolo all of a sudden.
Okay.
But yeah, he's definitely stronger. I'd say the majority of the cast got stronger.
Sick.
I mean,
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good patch.
does it feel like right now? I mean, from before the patch till now, does it feel kind of Marvel 3 like, where it's just like you get touched and you're dead, pretty much at this point?
So the game. Oh, I forgot, man. Jiren got way stronger too. I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Leading into this the segue. So I feel like the previous patch they were trying to make the game cheaper. For lack of a better term, things were feeling cheap.
Sick.
In this game, they did it even more so. For example, Jiren is a character that you could tell when they put him out like 2 years ago that he was supposed to be a strong character in neutral. He had a 2S that could go through Ki Blast, and essentially it was the same thing as his 2H. It was an anti-air. He has this punch. His 5S is a punch attack that also is a Ki Blast. but it had really slow startup, so it didn't really work that well. Now, however, they gave him his 5S, goes straight through Key Blast. So characters like Z Broly. The problem with Z Broly is he was not only one of the best maulers in the game, but he's also one of the best zoners in the game. So like if David played Dragon Ball FighterZ, he'd want to play Z Broly so he could play Dalsim and Zangief in the same character, essentially, right?
Beautiful.
Now someone like Jiren can just stand there and hit 5S, and Broly can't zone him out. He gets wrecked for it.
Right.
So they're not just making things like Marvel-esque in terms of, oh, that's really cheap and you're going to open people up in 50 million ways. They're also making it more Marvel-esque in that you can play more than one play type all of a sudden, you know?
Right.
Right.
So that's really, really cool, because one of my issues with the game is you play one way. Like you want to lock someone down and mix them up, and that's pretty much all you really did. But now they've kind of opened the gateways to more playstyles being viable, and that's really, really important for the lifespan of the game.
For sure. All right, man. Well, it sounds like it's going to be in a good spot. So that patch is already out, right?
Yes. It's out, yeah. And Roshi is, if he hasn't dropped already, he'll be coming out very soon. Usually America gets the character technically a day before Japan, because we are living a day before Japan. They're in the future.
Yeah.
So usually that comes Tuesday night for us.
Okay.
If not, he'll be out tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, sounds good. Thanks for the breakdown. Again, I just wanted to reiterate, I really enjoyed the show. I also wanted to say, I didn't say this before, but when they were talking about Roshi, they were getting in real granular, like, FGC detail. Like, this wasn't like some show that was for people who just like Dragon Ball, but
He
maybe
could
like
make
don't care about fighting games. Like, they were talking about, they were getting into the frame data, like, they were getting into everything. And at the same time, they did say things like, okay, everybody, we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball motions now, and we use, if you look at, down at your numpad, like that, this is the directions we use. Like they were trying to address it to both people who are like definitely FGC heads, and also to people who like may not be yet. So I thought that they tailored it really well to both of those sides. It was cool.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's all I got to say about this.
Cool. Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. Sounds like it's in a good spot. Cool. So up next, we're gonna have an interview. Do you want to take a break to set that up, or what?
I mean, I guess we could. I don't think it'll be too.
Yeah. I mean,
because I don't have a camera. We don't have a camera because I just don't have the room to put stuff on there. I'll try to fix that for future. But I mean, we might even just be able to just drop them in here right now, because I don't need to do any crazy prep work.
You got it then. All right, cool. Hey, St. Cola, you're in this chat, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, buddy. Let me get your audio up in my own ear here. Yeah, you've been in this chat waiting for us. Hello! Thanks for coming on to the Ultra Chen TV Tuesday show for a little interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want you to know, St. Cola, this was all my idea, so you're welcome.
That's true.
When you smoothed on in my DMs, I was like, it could only be something good.
Well, you just wait and see. I'm gonna hit you with bad news next time I slide in your DMs.
Oh, you ruined it.
Yep.
Here's what we want to do. So we want to talk with you about, well, maybe more things than just this, but we want to talk with you about commentary. Okay. So I guess before we get to that spot, do you want to talk a little bit about your origin story in the FGC? How did you get involved? Where? Doing what? When? Etc.
So, like, as I revealed on the CPT, or maybe was it? I don't know if it was that or Wednesday Night Fights. At some point, I revealed that I'm actually very old, like older than people think I am. At least I am 32 years old. So I've been around the block.
Oh my
God.
Very old.
32 is what came out of your mouth after the sentence, I'm very old.
That is very old, yeah.
It's older than what people might think I am.
All right, thanks for watching the show, guys. I'm just gonna...
But I did start with Street Fighter 2. Really got into the Street Fighter series and fighting games in general with Alpha 1 and 2 and 3. And just like fell in love with fighting games. And then I was like, maybe during the Street Fighter like 4 era, I kind of started watching, as it became more prevalent, commentary things, and I was like, man, that looks super fun. I'd like to do that sometime in the future, but I never got a chance to like do that because where I was at really didn't have like a big scene.
Wait,
Where
were you?
And what's that?
Where were you though?
I used to live in Peoria, Illinois, which is like 3 hours outside.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm from Chicago. I know the area.
Yeah, I know it too.
Yeah, Davey was there for a while too.
Let's just say I like Chicago a lot better.
Yeah. Peoria sucks. Continue.
But I moved, and then after Street Fighter 5 came out, I was like, what if I started playing the game and taking the commentary thing more seriously. So like for a good maybe like year or so, I was still kind of like a homebody. I didn't really want to go out too much. I was like a little afraid to go to my locals because I wasn't fully acclimated to Chicago and like the lifestyle and stuff. So at least in the gaming side of things. So I go to random events here and there, and eventually I went to Ignite Gaming Lounge, and I started playing locals and stuff like that, all that good stuff for months. And in the corner of my eye, I saw Callisto. He's setting up. He's got the stream for Street Fighter 5, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna say, hey man, let me do the commentary for Street Fighter 5, and eventually I worked up the nerve, and I did it, and literally have been mic vulturing. You can ask him that entire time ever since. Like every time I come in, I'm like, it's another day on the mic. Y'all better move aside.
What year did you start trying to get on commentary, and then when did you actually first do it?
I think like I practiced at home for like a good year. Like maybe actually good 2 years, I would say, like seriously practice. And then I finally worked up the nerve to do it probably 2018.
Wow.
Like early 2018,
Damn.
mid 18, around that time.
You practiced. Wow. Imagine that.
I thought that's what I looked at you guys, I was like, there's no way these guys aren't practicing every single day. And I was like, I'm going to do the damn thing and do that too. I maybe should have hopped on the mic before that, but I would just sit at home and pull up YouTube videos and be like, I'm just going to talk over these. Like, what better way to get that practice, right? And then I went to my locals, and it was still bad, but it was better than if I just kind of hopped on and was, the usual.
Man, that's wild. That your story kind of sounded like the first time a boy asked a girl out on a date. I saw Callisto out the corner of my eye, and I got up the nerve, and I finally asked him, can I please be on your stream that has like 20 viewers? Can I please do that? And Callisto said yes,
like
and it was
80.
magical.
Hey, look.
Don't try to give Brian a hard time, okay?
Look, I'm just
Give
saying.
us both a hard time at the same time.
I'm just saying. I know what it's like to ask Callisto out on a date. Although I did get rejected, but still, I totally get how that feels. So
Callisto has fed me food that he made from his own kitchen.
Wow.
I've had it too, and it's some of the. I one day I just want to say.
So
I'm sorry,
I'm the one who asked him
I wanna
out,
be
and
there.
and everybody else got food from Callisto.
Yeah,
and
hold
I'm
that.
the only
what
one
you
that's.
did, James.
I've never had food.
I wish. Oh man, I wish the pandemic was over, if only to get some more of his food. Like he's hit me with the chocolate cake, and it's I can't even speak after it.
He makes good food. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he gets drunk and goes hard on Twitter with his drunk recipes. That's great. It's good content.
He in his kitchen will get drunk, and I was there for this. I know it's happened other times. And he's got a knife in his hand that he's about to use to cut some meat or something, and he uses it just in regular hand motions. Oh yeah, then we went over here, and then we walked over that way, and we'll go on the way back. And it's got this like big cleaver the entire time.
That's why I've never had his food, because I'm actually like terrified of sharp objects like that. When somebody else is holding the sharp object, like it just freaks me the hell out. So if he did that, I would probably walk out of his house.
I hate to tell you, James, if you don't like sharp objects, you don't want to go on a date with him either. He's into some real weird stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I feel better.
But yeah, all right, so St. Cola, you finally got up the nerve to ask Ryan to be on his stream. Then what happened? How long were you commentating locals before you actually started breaking into majors and such?
For the past, I would say the first like major that I got on, I guess quote unquote major, was maybe Red Bull Conquest last year.
Okay.
Which was entrusted to me by Callisto. So again, he definitely has been helping me out this entire time. And then as well, Frosty's earlier this year was also a big one, and that was like the moment I was like, I had a plan this year to go out and commentate, and like wherever they needed me, I would fly out, I would do it. I had the funds to do it and stuff like that. This was gonna be my year. I was gonna put in the work, and then maybe next year I would get my CPT, right? And then
Right.
COVID happened, and then I was, as everybody was, distraught and a little bit depressed that like I had this big plan and it's all gone. But then I started doing online locals, like a few here and there, and then 5 every week, and then over and over again, people would come and ask me to come back, and it just kind of led up to eventually Vi, after watching me on Wednesday Night Fights and other things, and other people who had kind of helped me out in promoting me and stuff, saying, "Hey, do you want to do the CPT?" And I'm gonna say something real on here that I don't think I've told anybody. I cried for 10 minutes when he hit me with that. I cried like a baby. My girlfriend saw, because this has been my dream since I hit the mic. Like, it has literally been my dream to be with the greats, like Ultra David out here, James, maybe not Tubo. No, I don't know about that. But it has.
You know
been my
what?
dream
You're
to go.
bad. Yeah, it was great having you on the show.
Look at what you've done. But it has been my dream to be on the CPT, and to be honest, I thought it was going to be like, another couple of years till I got on it. And even when I was there, it didn't feel real, and it still doesn't. And but I feel like all of this has come because everybody's helped me out. If it hasn't been people like retweeting my stuff, like good old like Reddit, good old Joe out there, High Fight in the chat, I know that you're here, so I'm gonna shout you out. Every time you promote those clips, those have helped me too. Anytime that anybody's watched my commentary, giving me tips or advice or just love, any of that stuff has kept me going, and that's the reason why I do it. Like, I just want to make people have fun with whatever I'm commentating, like Street Fighter or Grand Blue. Like, I want people to like enjoy it, and I know it's difficult right now, especially because of online being the way it is, and what we're at in life. But I want people to watch locals and things like that and say, hey, I'm having a fun time. We're hanging out like it's old times, and like we're all sitting around people and conversating and joking around.
So you really were doing 5 locals a week, 5 online locals?
5 or 6. There were times where I would do 6 at max, or they would run into 6 straight, where they would just be like, okay, cool, Wednesday Night Fights, and I've got Grand Blue the next day. Then I've got my own locals, and then after that I've got like a mini local with Callisto's thing, and then I've got Salt Mine League, and then Monday I've got Reddit Street Fighter or something like that. So
And they're all around the
it's a
world
lot of
too.
grind.
These are all
That's all over the place.
These are all different time zones too. I got to imagine that this has done a number on your sleep schedule.
It is not good. It's also gotten me in trouble too. It's gotten me a little bit of a complaint leveled at my place. So I had to restructure my closet. So I'm actually inside my closet right now with like soundproofed or audio whatever.
Is that why the camera is like all the way at the tip of your nose? Is that what the deal is there?
That was because of Zoom. That was a different thing. That was a completely different issue. That was when I was ranging free in my living room. Now I'm in the damn closet right now.
All right.
Oh, wait, so you've only recently had to transfer to the closet.
Yeah, this was literally this week. Like,
St. Cola in the closet. You heard it here first on Ultra David TV. Ultra Chen TV.
Put that on Twitter. Let's go.
But I don't think anybody else does that. I don't think that might be unique.
Is it because your roommates don't like the
office.
noise or something? Because you're
Yeah, it sounded like his neighbors were complaining.
Yeah.
So is that why you did that?
Yeah, it's
Cola?
my neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my
okay.
neighbors. Because it's an older building, so the sound travels. So when I'm in the
Right.
closet, I can put up the stuff to kind of, dim that down.
Sure.
But also, I got to be careful, about screaming. I can't be, neutral activated as much unless it's, certain hours. But yeah, definitely do not have a sleep schedule because of this.
Well, look, I think that's really cool, and it reminds me of the story that many of us have had. I think all 3 of us here. Just the way that we got involved in commentary was just to do locals, and it took us a while to get good. I mean, I don't think any of us would say that like any of us were strong at the beginning. Maybe we thought that at the time, but like looking back, you can see like actually that's
Dude,
that's not true.
I hate going back and
Yeah.
watching my shit from 2010, 2011. I'm just like, I was awful. I was so bad at
Dude,
this.
But that's what it takes, right? It just takes a lot of time. It just takes a lot of time to figure out what to do, what not to do, and it's not something that you ever stop learning. I mean, you always keep working on it. But yeah, that's what it takes is putting in a lot of hours. And very luckily, James and I come from a region where that's something that just sort of worked out naturally at a time as well, where that just worked out naturally. We just got invited to do stuff. Many places in the country haven't had that as consistently. I know that's been the thing for Tubo, for example.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We haven't often had that kind of situation.
I was actually gonna say that maybe COVID happening really helped you out, Cola. Like the fact that all these online locals are happening, and you know that you could be on 5, 6, 7 streams a week. Like that's, I want to say that like the when I noticed you was probably like 2 or 3 months ago. Like not as a commentator, but really improving.
Yeah.
Was when I saw you on Ronin Rumble, and I was like, man, Cola's actually killing it. Like I didn't even want to watch the stream. I was just there because of how good your commentary was at that time.
Damn, you're making me blush out here.
So yeah, like I do think that all that practice and all that exposure was only possible because everything is online right now. So that worked out in your favor. I would feel.
Yeah, we've talked about how like geography is such a big part of who gets to do commentary. If you think about the commentators who are top level in whatever game, and you think about their geography, it matches almost 1-to-1. Like there's some exceptions to that for a couple of game genres, game subgenres in particular. But for the most part, like you're in California, or you're in New York, or you're in Tokyo, or you're in London, or right. I mean, there's not that many exceptions to this rule. So to have the world just be online and geography, in a sense, at least for commentary, not really to matter for at least a while, I could see that being really helpful. Yeah.
I mean, it does help.
Did.
It does help, obviously, that he had Callisto around as a local as well, because that's where a lot of the initial practice happened. Whether or not it's Wednesday Night Fights or NWC, you still have this opportunity to do that. But the online does facilitate that a lot faster as well, especially as long as you're willing to put in the work, put in the practice. Take all that stuff out there, because a lot of the times, people have asked me before, they're like, oh, how do you get into commentary? And I was like, well, there's a lot of videos on YouTube, just like watch them, practice or whatever. And they're like, oh, you do that? People are like surprised, or they're like, oh, that's an interesting idea. It's always like kind of surprising to me, like, I mean, I feel like it seems kind of like an obvious thing to do, but, the fact that you actually went and did that, I think is telling on why you have found this success here.
It's kind of wild to me that, like, I have asked people, like, or people have asked me, I'm sorry, that how did you get into this position or whatever, how to get CPT, stuff like that. I'm like, I literally followed everything that, like, is to me, like, easy knowledge, like, or simple knowledge. I watch all of Sajam's videos, like, all about commentary. There's literally just years of him just, like, talking about this. Took a bunch of notes. I took notes just like you would in fighting games about like what I've done wrong, what I've done right. Like my commentary last year and maybe the year beyond, I would say like especially like beginning of last year was like the equivalent of just bland noodles, like butter noodles. Like didn't really have a focus, didn't really have a voice. And then like I started like looking at things and saying, how do I formulate this? How do I strategize and make myself better and more entertaining and things like that? And like there are so many things that you can do right now that I do not understand why people A, don't have a reel, or B, don't go to these mini commentary openings and things like that. Like I have had to turn down quite a bit in the past months because I just don't have the time. And I'm like, there's so much out here. Why aren't people going out here and if they want it, they're hungry. There's plenty of places to come practice, get that work. But I will say on the reverse, this is not easy work. Like it's simple to get on the path, but to be consistent, especially in the online spectrum of things, it's kind of difficult. I mean, like, I'm in here in the closet commentating because I can't be at a venue, and I got to be careful about being loud, and I also have to worry about my own technical problems and things like that, and, internet going out and all this stuff like that, and, sometimes things don't start on time, and I can't, practice or whatever, and there's all these issues that compound the stress that make it hard and make it actual work. So even though it's like, it's easy to get into this stuff, keeping up with it is really difficult.
So kind of to compound on what you just said with all these opportunities that have been thrown your way, Cola, I think David and James and I have a little bit of a bone to pick with you. So you're talking about all these opportunities, man. How many of those were actually paid opportunities, Bucko? Are you undercutting us? All right, we need work too.
Talk.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay. I will
you
say
said
this
in the chat last week
Yeah.
that you were all about these unpaid gigs, and you don't see a problem with it. Us, real professional commentators, all right, we care about that.
Yeah, I remember that because, when I was talking last week and we were talking about the commentary issue and, and I said, oh, I'm just addressing the chat. And, some people are saying that people will be willing to do it for free. That was in particular a response to something you had put in chat that you were like, that's kind of how I got to the position that I was in, so... it is kind of an interesting situation here, I mean, what's your take on that right now?
So, I feel really weird because it's weird to say that I'm a CPT commentator still. Like, it's still like an odd thing. And hey, you know what? Let's do this right now. By the way, me and James commentating this weekend for CPT Southeast Asia 2.
Yep.
I can't wait for it. I didn't even know when we could do it. I don't even know what the process. Doesn't matter. We're doing it now. But anyway, it feels weird to say that I'm a CPT commentator. But at the same time, I think that means me as a standard goes up. But on the flip side of things, the reason why I commentate a lot of locals is because I want to help the locals, right?
Right.
I try not to commentate events where I feel like they have the money to pay, or they're just like normal events or exhibitions or things like that. I have gotten paid for probably maybe less than 5% of the events I've done. I'm going to be 100% with it. That's just how it is, right? You
Right.
go on this, you spend your time and your effort and the money that you've made to have the tech and stuff like that to do these events for free, and you get a thank you. And for me, it's, for at least most of these places, is to help the locals. Like Wednesday Night Fights, Salt Mine League, stuff like that, it's to help them. Because they don't have money or they need to, push their scene, right?
Right.
Now, however, there's been a few that I've run into and a few I've denied because I felt like they could pay and they did not. And that's starting to become a bigger point for me, and that's something I'm trying to get better about, juggling those opportunities where it's like, they can do this, why are they not? And at this point, I do feel, at least, not to brag, I guess, but my commentary is at least mediocre enough that there should be some sort of payment involved if I am being hired for certain events.
Yeah, I mean, because
I didn't get paid for a weekly on commentary ever. I think I actually literally never did. All the years that we were doing Wednesday Night Fights and the Run Back, and I think never. So I'm not upset at you for not getting paid for those things. I mean, I'm not upset regardless. It's,
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. I know you guys.
The only bone I have to pick with you is that you cast an aspersion on buttered noodles a few minutes ago, and I love buttered noodles. I hope you'll take that back at some point. That's my only concern. I'm totally fine with people, especially on the come up, doing things that are unpaid. I mean, I wish the world didn't have to work like that, but that's kind of how it is.
Here's the thing, though, right? I mean, because Saint's been doing this very recently, and obviously we haven't had any majors recently, right? So there hasn't been a lot of opportunities. Like, for example, if CEO, here's the question, let's say, Frosty Faustings, right? You did Frosty Faustings, you said earlier this year, right? You know, I mean, you don't have to answer this question, but I mean, did you get paid for Frosty Faustings, or were you like?
Oh yeah, I will. I'll tell you, yeah, for sure, they paid me. That was a professional position. Same thing with Red Bull Conquest.
So
I think if it was like an offline event, if things change, I would definitely be more like, hey.
So a lot of the things that we were talking about before, of course, when we were talking about getting paid for commentary, is of course majors, because I do Wednesday Night Fights, I've done Salt Mine League, all that stuff for no pay as well, just because I'm just like, hey, I want to help out the Salt Mine League and stuff. So for sure, those kind of things. I guess a lot of the things that we were talking about last week was about majors, right? Like, don't go to majors and be like, I'll do this for free, because then you get the point where Tubo's going to call you out and come after you and stuff, and he lives close to you, so he can find you, right? I mean,
I don't know if anybody does that with majors.
People still do.
Yeah,
people
they
still
definitely do.
I would say I don't know of any good commentators that do it.
Ow.
I mean, that's just facts. I don't know any good commentators that will do a major for free. But there's definitely some like not so good commentators or people just trying to learn that will offer to do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of big majors in the past that are just like, hey, who wants to commentate? Like literally like
Yep.
right before the stream
yeah.
starts. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the entire history of commentary is full of that, and that's not really, I guess, what I'm talking about. Like,
Right. Yeah.
an event that plans things out. Maybe
An actual offline major. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're not like offering to work, CEO or Combo Breaker or Evo or any of those events for free, then we're good. You do all the online shit you want to do for free. All you want, of course.
The money to travel and stuff. Hold on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's mainly just like the locals and stuff like that I have.
Do all stuff for free.
I mean, because you also
actually,
said, at the start of this conversation that this year before the pandemic, you were down to fly to everything to do commentary on your own.
I was down to fly to everything to do commentary. Didn't say I wasn't trying to get paid though.
Okay.
Just saying. All right, like I'm being honest here. I mean, if I have to fly out somewhere to do commentary for events and things like that, that can definitely afford it. Like for sure.
Yeah.
And majors can't afford that, right? Like so. There may be
this is becoming a weird line of questioning. So I don't think any of us thinks that you're gonna give up.
I swear to God, Cola, if I see you at the next tournament, you're not getting. If I don't see you get paid, we're going outside.
I will show you my pay stub. I promise. Whenever it comes to the tournament.
Oh man. Yeah, show us your tax receipts. Show us your tax receipts.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Exactly.
You'll be doing better than
I
some of the.
thought that CPT went well. I mean, you and I did commentary together, and I could definitely tell that you were nervous for it. And I thought it was unfortunate that in the very first match that we commentated, my CFN was way delayed, super delayed. And I noticed that very quickly that I said something on commentary and people in the chat were like, wow, David's like 5 seconds behind. So I couldn't do normal commentary at that point, and I was just hoping that like you would say something, and then I would be like, yeah, because X or Y, or like, oh, that was a very interesting round in the middle of rounds when time doesn't matter as much. And that was like maybe a hard like intro, but I thought that it went really well.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't know the feeling of that kind of commentary. Like when I got invited, because the first thing is like I don't know how any of this goes. Right, I'm brand new. I'm a fresh face, and I know Capcom's watching, and I know they're gonna be like, if he messes up, get him out of here. Like I don't know how any of this goes, so I'm like, I'm trying to be good.
Yes, that is how it goes.
I'm trying to mess up. Okay, good. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. They're cutthroat in the commentary world.
Yeah.
I was,
Let me tell you stories about. Let me tell you stories about Kyobi, man. That guy, when he's running a stream,
a jerk.
God, he is like the biggest asshole. No, I'm just kidding. Kyobi wouldn't hurt a fly, dude. That guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
Kyobi's gonna mute the mic this weekend. But it was as I was going along, especially during like top 8, I was a lot more like fluid and a lot more
for sure.
freeform. And then now that I've seen like how other people operate, especially EU, saying singing the R. Kelly theme song out there, like come on, like being able to be a little bit more freeform, maybe not that much, but at least enough to relax a little bit, like has given me a better sense of how to be on commentary and how I can be too. Like obviously I can't go like screaming and stuff like that. I'm not at a local. I'm in my apartment. I gotta keep it down a little bit. But I can definitely bring the hype. I can definitely bring be excited and the usual, and be a little bit more like I am at Wednesday Night Fights or Assault Mine League.
All right, Capcom. Well, listen here. I don't have to be quiet. I can scream as loud as I want. So you want a real commentator hype man? I'll do it for free. Saint Cola. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Tibo. All you have to do is play Street Fighter V.
Oof. Wait, look, you can keep that. Never mind. I thought we were talking about Marvel 3. Maybe they were bringing it back. I don't know.
Oh man. No, I mean,
talk to me about the future. What do you? Look, this year of being stuck at home will not last forever. It might last a while, it won't last forever.
Are you sure,
Yeah.
David? Are you sure it's
Yeah.
not gonna last forever?
Can you guarantee this, David?
Nope. If it's not COVID, it might just be fires where I live. It might just be
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
Couple of
exactly, dude.
But anyway, I mean, what are you thinking about? What you want to do next? How you want to approach the future at this point?
I want to. There's a couple of things I want to do. I want to actually curb a little bit of my commentary, like as many as I'm doing, because even recently I was doing like a bunch in a row, and I felt super exhausted. Like I was supposed to do Reddit commentary yesterday, and I was like, I can't. I feel like I can't like get my mind wrapped around anything right now because I've been doing so much, and there's so much in like before and after. Because I do prep work, I make sure I look at matches and things like that. I try to like stay informed, like who was the winner of last time, all that stuff like that, right? And for every different event, and then switching up the games, it's just so much that I want to cut back just a little bit, and I want to like help other people to get on their path. I still want to do, obviously, in the future there'll be CPT online events that I'll be doing, but I want to do more like exhibitions and like maybe bigger events, kind of move on from there. And then when COVID ends, I'd like to get on the CPT tour and continue that, and maybe help out some other scenes that are small and do commentary for them as well. Kind of instead of just doing the same locals over and over again, maybe doing English local like commentary for a Japanese local or a Brazilian local, something like that. Like just to like give them more notoriety and exposure, and have them have people to come to something where they can like, oh, I understand this language, I'll watch it now. Because I ran a quick poll on Twitter, and people were like, I need to have commentary where it's in my language, and I'm like, that kind of sucks, but I get it, I guess. So I want to be able to facilitate that kind of a thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll figure that out later. But definitely want to continue on the CPT path with Street Fighter and Grand Blue. If Guilty Gear is any good, I like to dabble in that. I like Strive, the demo, more than most people did. But we'll see how that kind of turns out. But I'd like to kind of stick with 3 games and see how things go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Sorry, completely aside here, but I'm not sure if you had this on the docket, but you're talking about foreign language commentary, and that immediately made me think of Phantom Miria, who is going through some stuff and has a GoFundMe out there. So if we don't have that, we'll be sure to mention that a little bit later today as well. So yeah.
All right. Well, what else do you want to talk about, man? What do you got that you want to get off your chest?
Well, let me. I mean, like, what are you
go ahead.
what are you playing these days? Like, what are your favorite fighting games to play right now?
Street Fighter V, Grand Blue, a little bit of Guilty Gear right now. And when I get the time, like in between, like once this weekend ends, I'm gonna dabble in Gundam. I might have to have someone hold my feet to the fire on that one, but it looks super fun. It doesn't look like a game where I have to like put too much like mental time and energy into. Like I can kind of jump in and pick a strong system. And I played the one before this, Gundam Versus, and I put enough time into it where I understand the system. But I know there's a lot more to that game. But I just want to just mess with some friends, kind of thing, for that one. Nothing too deep. So those are the games I'm kind of messing with right now.
Okay.
When's Marvel?
See, I feel like I need more time for Marvel. I need more time for Infinite. Like, if I was going to go back to Marvel, it'd be Infinite, for sure. But
when's Marvel 3?
Not in a lot of time right now.
How are you?
I'm more of an Infinite fan.
Because I was about to say, if you're new and beginner at Marvel 3, then we should play on like Tubo's stream, because I'm awful at that game, so it would be fun to actually.
I'm rusty enough. We can run some sets, and it would be like you were playing someone who's new. If I don't play a game in like a year or so, all my knowledge is gone. It's literally just out my brain.
Dude, right?
It's
Dude,
old man things.
I know the feeling.
I'm the exact same way, dude. I am all
Can't relate, boys.
I'm not the Justin Wong kind of person who's like, I've never played this fighting game before. I'll play it like one of the other ones that I've played. Oh, I won the tournament. Like I have to always be playing in order to stay cognizant of how to play.
Yeah, I went a point in Marvel 3 where I didn't play I didn't actually pick up and play the game for well over a year. I watched it and I stayed up to it so I could commentate it, but I didn't play the actual game. And the next time I picked it up, I remembered everything. So can't relate on the forgetting things.
I feel pretty confident.
Sorry, we're not geniuses.
I just play too much Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, there's some games that I feel like are in my bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's like riding a bike.
Strike, like I'm not going to be at 100%, but like I'll never get below like 50% in those games.
Yeah. The Super Turbo will always be in my bone. You know what I mean? Like, I will just never have any problem
Like,
doing that.
I'm not good at Super Turbo anymore. I know that, but I also know that I'll never forget, like, there's just a percentage of that game where it's just part of me.
Right.
For sure. And I do feel confident that I could do Hulk Hagar combos still. I think I can make that happen. I also think that I can press stand H and catch something that you're trying to do, and if it doesn't work, I can call Larry to assist.
Yep,
I think
that's also true.
All right.
God, now I want to bust out MVC3 and see if I even remember how to do my Felicia combos anymore.
I can almost guarantee you won't, James.
I think I could just.
Well, I mean, this hasn't played the game in 10 years.
Yeah, but I'm also a big muscle memory person. Like, I will drop them for like the first little bit, and then all of a sudden it'll just, like, the combo part, muscle memory part, I'll probably remember. The actual strategy of what I'm supposed to do in a battle, I won't remember any of that shit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Sankola plug stuff. We're about to wrap this up.
Alrighty. You know, follow me at @_St. Cola. I'll post pictures of my dog, but that's the only good thing you're probably gonna get out of that. Is the rest
What's
of
your
this
dog's name?
stuff. Odin,
What kind of dog?
Bull Mastiff.
He's
Wow.
a big boy.
Did you say Odin?
He's a big boy.
Odin, like the god of
Odin.
thunder?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He is a big boy. He's
I know a lot of-
something pounds.
I know a lot of Thor. I'm sorry, Thor is the god of thunder. You're right. The dad of the god of thunder. I know a lot of Thor and Loki's, but I don't know a lot of Odins out there for pets. Cool.
You know, I actually didn't get it from that. I got it because he is my favorite summon from Final Fantasy.
Ah,
Like,
okay.
I used to cover up like, oh yeah, it's something in Norse. Yeah, whatever, dude. Like, but the real, like, when I meet a nerd, I'm like, it's from Final Fantasy. 7 is my favorite version of Odin, actually, and that's why he's named the way he is.
See, here's the thing,
All
right?
right.
I know, like, now I know an Odin. Like I said, I know a ton of Thor and Loki's. If I get a new pet, I'm naming it Hela. I'm definitely doing that just so to give Kate Blanchett some props, dude, because she was awesome in that movie.
I think you mean Gila.
She calls
It's
herself.
not- I'm pretty sure she pronounces it Gila, not Hella.
I thought she pronounced it Hela in the movie.
Maybe she did. I don't know,
Okay.
man. What do I know? I'm an old man too. I'm also 32. We're all old here.
We old. We're very old. Dusty. We get up
Very,
back
very
to it.
old.
I mean, I will admit, Cola, that I thought you were like 24. Like, honestly, you look like you have a baby face. You have a
He does.
very baby
I do.
face. Yeah.
Someone
Well, I
said,
gotta be
"Dude,
honest,
let
I would not have said 24.
Right, Javi, dude? Right, Javi? Javi knows, dude. People talking 32 being old.
32 is
32 is
old.
very old. Oh my gosh. Are you
Dude,
kidding me?
I'm ready to retire.
Dude, I
Yeah,
tell
I'm done.
everybody...
I'm already making way for the next commentators out here.
Dude, I'm
Time
telling
to
you
retire.
right now, 30 is the prime of your life. 30 to 40 is the prime of your life, man. This is when you
Jeez, don't tell me that, James. That's so depressing, dude.
That is terrible.
this is my prime? Holy shit,
Yeah,
please
because
no.
this is where you figure out what you actually want to do. Because when you're 20...
Survive this country. That's what I
yeah,
want to do.
I mean, that's important.
Objective survive.
Yeah, because honestly, once you get to friggin' mid-40s, you realize that 20s you were an idiot, and you thought you were invincible, and you think the world owes you everything. And then 30s is when you really figure out what you want to do. Now, obviously, we're in a particularly bad situation with the pandemic, so it's hard, but you've got a while, dude. You've got a while.
You little babies. How cute.
Yeah, I know, right?
Aren't you like 35 or something? You're barely older than us.
How old am I? I'm 37.
Oh, Jesus
Wow, you
Christ, you
forgot.
are an old man.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
go
Fine
the...
right there.
I forgot, of course. This is how you know somebody's still a youngin'. They know how old they are. I'm absolutely serious, because once you get to a certain age, you have to do the math every time.
Yeah, you
I
just
have
give
to-
up. You just give up.
You don't remember anymore. Yes, today feels exactly the same as 3 years ago, and you feel the same. So how do you mark the passage of time at that point? You'll find out. You'll find out, kids.
I mean, the worst part about it is, honestly, like, I talk about a lot of things from the perspective of being older, and everyone's like, whatever, James. And I'm like, you'll see when you get... And then you're just like, God damn, like, now I know why everybody says that, because, honestly, you'll see when you get there.
God.
You said that inside my head, it felt like, wow.
Well, I just hope we all get there, man. How about that?
I hope we do too.
It's a good answer.
All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot for coming on. Appreciate it. Good work on all your good work lately and over the past couple of years. And sounds like you're doing CPT this weekend. Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With James.
Yep.
And which one is that? That's Southeast Asia.
too.
Yeah, Southeast Asia. So, I mean, I'll talk to you, David, about the scrimmage. Because I might not be able to do that this Sunday as a result. So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, bud. Thanks a lot for joining us again. Let's go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about tournament results. We're going to get to 5-5 matchup. And there's a little bit of other news to talk about.
Cool.
Tubo lied to me, dude. He lied to me, dude.
Later.
There you go. Okay, all right.
I got to go get a hair tie for a man bun.
All right.
Oh, you want to be like
Muting now, dude.
People are gonna need to hear some mukbang.
Hearing mukbang is not as exciting, to be honest with you.
It's ASMR mukbang.
Yeah. Man bun, huh? See, I like the samurai thing. You know what I actually really like about my samurai hair that I was not expecting was that when I tie it up, the tip of it spreads out in every direction. And, like, that's what makes me rock it more often than I used to.
All right.
So, well, I mean, that's what's made me, I guess I should say, keep rocking it. Because I think it looks neat. I definitely look way more anime than I've ever looked in my life. Shoutouts to Arrow for the sub. Woo!
Man.
No, that was for bits. And Poogas as well. Poogas always subscribes.
Poogas?
Yeah, Poogas always subscribes during the break. And then
Good old Poogas.
Saber Turbo with the subscription saying, support your James Chen, guys. Thank you.
I want to know if Poogas prefers fart milk or fart tea or fart milk tea.
That's right. We gotta talk to David about fart milk tea, you know.
Yeah.
We've added that whole new thing because we forgot that milk tea was a thing. So fart milk tea is definitely a thing now.
Oh boy. How did your Soul Calibur tournament go?
Went really well, dude. Technically, from like running it, it was kind of it was a disaster at first because all of the ideas that I had that I thought would make it run well didn't work, and basically were destroying my computer. So I think, well, obviously I need a new computer. So if we got a new computer, I would be able to improve that a lot. But, you know, during the course of it, I figured out better ways to do things and make it a lot clearer.
That's good.
The one thing, though, the tournament itself was awesome. The grand finals match was ridiculous. And I did a matcherino for it for the first time. In the matcherino, I was expecting to get like $5 or $10, you know. But the Soul Calibur community apparently loves matcherino. I got $91.60 to give out as prizes. I got almost $100 to give out for my dinky little 15-man weekly. So because they were all there and patient, I'm gonna give at least $1 to everybody. I mean, it's $1, but what the hell is just thinking that's neat. So I'm just gonna give $1 to everybody, but Matcherino is really, really cool, and now that I've worked with them and they've talked to me about what their mission goals are and like what their intentions are and everything like that, I'm a real big believer in Matcherino right now. I think it's really, really great what they're doing.
Yeah, we had talked about that a while ago. Was I accurate in everything that I was saying that they were trying to do?
You'd have to remind me what you said. You'd have to remind me what you said.
We can talk about it off stream.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest with you, we might even want to bring on like Sermi or somebody like that onto the show to do an interview to talk about Matcherino. So I didn't even know until I started doing all this stuff that art actually just works for them now.
yeah. That's what we were talking about the other day. That's what art was working for them.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
That's where I got all the info.
Yeah, I even told the Teppen guys that they should do Matcherino, and they're like, we're actually already working with them now, and I was like, sick. So I think that's super cool.
Wait, Teppen has tournaments?
Teppen has exhibitions and tournaments, yeah. They run it on the weekend. It's all fan run, and I've commentated some of them, but yeah, they run their own tournaments. It's like Iowa the Boat and Horrible Chopstick, and a whole bunch of other guys. We're all trying to run Teppen tournaments, trying to do cool stuff for it. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Game is fun, dude. It's hard. Man, my cat.
Man, what happened with Kyle P though? Did they figure that out? Or?
Yeah, they extended it another month. Another month, so he gets another month to try. I did commentate for them for free because they have literally no money. I mean, that was me and Tetris for a while too, so.
Yeah. Man, you would think that Tetris has money though.
Well, Tetris has money. The guys running the tournament doesn't have money. And
that's whack, yeah.
But always the hardest thing about it, and this is what I've talked to them about, the reason why it's hard to get proper Tetris sponsorship is because they're playing on a 30-year-old version of the game that Nintendo can't make any money off of. Tetris can't make any money. So I keep saying that they need to start including the latest Tetris games in their tournaments, and trying to expand it more to a PGC Evo kind of thing, include a bunch of different games. I mean, 2 years ago I was there, they had Tetris Effect on display, so that was nice, and that's why Tetris actually kind of supported them, but they need to do more for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They need to deal with the times. Play some new games.
Teppen is actually legitimately really fun. One of the craziest things about Teppen right now is, as a fighting game player, I didn't really understand this. I was like, man, the balance in this game is whack. There's like only 4 good decks. And people were like, that's really good for a card game. And now, actually, outside of purple, every color is super good right now. Super good. So the balance in that game is surprisingly strong. I think the deck that's dominating the most right now is the Raging Demon Akuma deck. But outside of that, like, it's pretty good. I'm really impressed with it.
It kind of upsets me that even in a fucking card game, Akuma's good.
Dude, right? I mean,
so I could not find a hair tie, and it reminded me of a conversation I had with my wife the other day where I was like, I'm about to start putting this thing in a ponytail or a man bun or something. And she was like, you're definitely not, because I'm hiding all of the hair ties. And I thought she was messing around.
No, she was serious.
But she was
that.
Dude, I'm going to applaud Kentley on Facebook after this. Just tell her, be like, good shit. Following through on that.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
I need you more ready than that.
Can't be. I can only be as ready as I'll ever be. I can't be more ready than that. I can't be 200% ready. That's not a thing.
You need to be more ready.
All right, I'm 250% ready.
All right, there we go. All right, let's do this. And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday show. Thanks again to St. Cola for jumping on here as our interview guest. But time to move on to some tournament results along with Ultra David and Tubaware. There you go. David is muted? Or
yeah, I muted myself earlier. I forgot about that. Yeah, as far as tournament results, there were several things. So let's talk about the CPT Online East. It's actually Europe East or Middle East. And again, this geographic range goes from the tip of the Arabian Peninsula to Norway, to the height of Norway, which is whatever. I mean, you got that's part of the triangle. The other part of the triangle is Russia, which is the world's largest country. So anyway, whatever. That's what the range of this is for Street Fighter V's online play, and it was won by Nasser Angry Bird, who played mostly Zeku, a little bit of Seth as well.
Okay.
Second place was RU FGC, Russian FGC, Dushastik, who plays Urian. And then Nasser Big Bird got third with Rashid.
Oh, okay.
So this was won last time by Phenom in Norway.
Right.
And so he's qualified. This is the second one. There's only 2 chances to qualify. And one of the birds was not going to get it. And it was Angry Bird who got it. It was cool that after that happened, Big Bird was on Twitter just being like, look, I'm super happy that at least one of us got it. That's what we were hoping for. Like, that's the situation. One of us needed to get it, and they did. So hats off to them. I was also really, really impressed by Dushastik's Urian. He was really strong and made a lot of good choices, and he's the kind of player that I would love to see more often. You know, part of the cool thing about having this all online is that this is all that we can see, so it's what we're watching. And It just allows us to see people who you otherwise wouldn't get a great chance to see. I think it'd be super sick if there were just an Eastern Europe CPT. You know, if the Middle East had its own thing, maybe you split up Europe in a different way. That would have been really cool, but at least it was cool to watch this.
Yeah,
I mean, how often do you see Russian players at all?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we don't see them very often.
Hey, I saw
by
them
the
in.
way, he told me
in.
that they had a 1-bar connection between both Angry Bird and Big Bird. A 1-bar.
Look, I've seen the Russian FGC in person in Japan, and they gave me bread. Okay, I'm just saying.
They gave you bread?
They gave me bread, and it was delicious.
And it was bread.
And I ate that. It was like a football-sized bread, dude. Like flat. Like think of a flat football. Like it was gigantic. I ate that. I gave so many chunks of that away to people, and I ate that for like 5 days. Like it was like there. It was keeping me,
really
giving
good.
me sustenance the entire time. It was good, dude. It was really good. But I mean,
It was good.
obviously the biggest concern is the net code.
Yeah.
You know, 1 bar is not ideal.
But look, this is the game that we play, and you know the rules, and you know the geographic range that this is in. Something like 3,000 miles between the UAE and Ulyanovsk, Russia, where Dushastik lives. And you got to know that going in. So I think that they did a good job of playing to that kind of situation. The characters that they used, I think, fit that pretty well. So anyway, it was good. Shouts to everybody involved.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that's
Angry
what
Bird
a lot
qualifies for Capcom Cup.
that's what a lot of people have been learning now. You know, after the first Northwest tournament where Punk was playing, and you know he ended up obviously losing that match to Myers and getting angry about it. At Wednesday Night Fights,
Indeed.
he's been playing nothing but Seth now, because I think he realized that Seth is a better online character than Karen is. And you have to change your strategy. You have to kind of know where you're at. And a lot of the players, who are born and raised online, like for example the Rushdowns out there and everything, they kind of are used to it. They know. And Punk was born and raised online, but he also then just got used to playing Street Fighter V offline and knowing what he could do in those.
Yeah.
And so he kind of has to reseed himself back into the online mindset. So
Yeah, his Street Fighter 4 life was mostly online, but
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 is mostly not been. So. A little different story. I mean, he's been playing online the whole time anay. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Also, Seth is just better than Karen anyway, so just
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it's online or just
Yeah.
period?
yeah.
well, remember, it's also you oneness with your character, and Punk oneness with Karen is ridiculous, but Punk oneness with every character is pretty strong. I mean, when he says he mains the whole cast, he's not really lying, so.
Right.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But I do like that quote from Grinning Oni, choose the weapon that fits the terrain. Yep,
Correct.
that's a great way to put it.
Tekken Online Challenge Europe West. also happened this past weekend. And this was specifically for the UK, Ireland, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. That's a very small area because they also have at least 3 other Europe sections. Europe North, Europe East. Like, they actually did split this up. So shout outs to the Tekken Online Challenge for doing that.
Bandai Namco's doing a lot of good things.
They definitely are. This was won by Eddie, who was playing Bob and Fakum Ram. Second place was Rise E minor with Eliza, and then third was Pika with Geese. Good work. Good work.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, we got some online play. Yeah, for sure. There was also Celtic Throwdown 2020 online. This is an event that's happening over a series of weeks. So the first week was the past weekend, and of course Celtic Throwdown is a tournament that's been happening for some years now. Obviously they can't do it like normal, so it's online instead. And Dragon Ball FighterZ was won by Oplan Noka with Ultra Instinct Goku, Kid Buu, and Adult Gohan. Second place was Reza. Third place was NBA Full Metal Fury. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was won by Shuffle UK with Hulk Dante Sentinel. And second place was Spartan Throne with Wolverine Dormammu Iron Fist.
All right.
Third was How to Read with Beautiful Joe Strider X23. Sick.
These sure are some not American teams.
Sick.
Not
Bogey 654 got fourth with Zero Doom Virgil.
All right. Cool. That's a real team.
That's a team.
The other
Blue
ones?
Fantasy... No, not team.
No.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was won by Navir with Jita. Second place was Meek with Zeta, and Tri Keyser was third with Narmaya. Celtic Throwdown, like I said, is happening over a series of a few weeks. This coming week will be Puyo Puyo Champions, Uniclear, Soul Calibur 6, and Mortal Kombat 11. And I'm doing part of the Mortal Kombat 11 commentary this coming Sunday. They actually still have the registration open. It's open until tomorrow. Check it out. And what's nice is that they are raising money for Black Lives Matter as they do it. That's part of the theme of the event. And that's prominently featured in their Smash GG and their website. And as you register, you can donate to that cause as well. So please consider doing so. For sure. Topanga League Tekken has started back up. This happened previously, and now this is the second time. First place gets 1 million yen, which is $10,000-ish. Maybe a little bit less than that. Second place was 300,000 yen, or will be 300,000 yen. Third place will be 150,000 yen, so a pretty good chunk of money on the line here. Top 6 make it into the final pool. Top 6 from last time, I should say, make it into the final pool automatically. Then they're joined by the winners from 2 7-person qualifying groups, which is pretty rough, right? You have to outright win your 7-person group to make it into the final group.
All right. And
that happened. A block was won by Nobi.
Okay.
With Steve, as far as I know, just Steve. And then B block was won by Double with Fakum Ram and Law. And the other players who are in that final block will be those two. Also, Gyotaro, Take, Rangchu, Chikarin, Ao, and Gen.
Ow.
So, some real strong players.
That'll be pretty legit. Yeah, exactly. I also just wanted to shout out a couple things. Yesterday, Reddit Street Fighter did a cool event called the Royal Rumble on Reddit Fighting, their channel, which I actually remember the URL of for once.
Way to go. Yeah, good job.
And it was pretty cool. It was a little bit different style than usual. So people who had won previously got a chance to play in this. And each of them, it was kind of like wrestling style, like a Royal Rumble, right, in the sort of order that happens. And each time a player would come in, they got to choose their music that they wanted to, be their theme song it came in.
Uh-huh.
And so there are no VODs of this because it was all copyrighted music.
Of course.
I was going to say, man, they're going to get DMCA'd.
They definitely were, so they didn't even put up the VOD. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. The commentary was really fun. You know, it was just wrestling style. They had a blast. It was really fun to watch and listen to. So good work there. And then I also wanted to shout out the Salt Mine League because it was won by Julia Hahn, the first woman to win it, and also with Honda.
Nice.
Julia Honda?
Wow. I'm going to make that joke from now on. So, that's the set of results that I have for today.
I also want to shout out just for the SoulCal distancing yesterday. Incendiate won that one from New York City. Came in here and beat up a bunch of West Coast players, you know.
Wow.
But like I said, Grand Finals was really good. Second place went to Florida Man from the Pacific Northwest area. Really, really strong player. Almost got sent to loser's bracket like super early too, but made it all the way through to winners finals and then lost to Incendiate. Got double jeopardied by Incendiate. And then third place went to Rip City Outlaw. Fourth place was to Pluto, aka Grief Pluto. And shout outs to them. And it was super fun and a lot of they all had a great time and they want me to keep doing this every Monday. So I'm gonna keep trying to do this to it's Soul Cal distancing anti-particle because it's Soul Caliber. So there you go. I know David's disappointed, but other people understand that it's a more crafty
been better.
pun to include more of Soul Caliber in the name.
Could have been better.
I appreciate it. David, how would you improve on that?
No, it's a
How
good
would
one.
you make that better?
It should be social distancing.
But
But then you don't have the caliber part.
right.
It's obviously part of the name of the event of the game is Soul Calibur. Social distance. It's like so clear. Anyway, all right. Let's move on to the 5-5 matchup. Unless you got anything more about tournament results.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, cool. We move on. 5-5 matchup. Here's what we got. Here's the questions. Number 1, we had 5 of them. What do you think about FGC content creators branching out to various games like Fall Guys, Among Us, and other popular streaming games? Will it bring more viewers to the FGC? Or will viewer numbers and money tempt those streamers to stream fighting games less in the future? 2. Some COD and Fortnite content creators have designated codes so you can support them upon purchases from the in-game store. Should fighting game devs add similar options, or is that not financially sustainable? 3. If you could play a Skullgirls type Disney princess game, who would you main, and what would her moveset and archetype be? So sick. 4. Why do you think yearly releases, updates for fighters get a bad stigma while sports titles like Madden get away with it and charge full price each time? 5. What would it take for a fighting game to be as ubiquitous as Street Fighter 2 was? What would this game look like? And would the current FGC play it? And the winner is number 5. What would it take for a fighting game to be as ubiquitous as Street Fighter 2 was? What would this game look like? And would the current FGC play it? That's our first topic of discussion. Answer: a time machine. That's it. I mean, that was a particular place and time that just won't happen again. Like, there just won't be another situation in which a fighting game is the most competitive game in the world, because at that time, fighting games were the only competitive video game in the world. That was your choice.
Right.
If you wanted to play a video game and you wanted to do it competitively head-on-head like that, it was basically Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And that situation is just never going to come up again. So
Yeah, people
I
don't
think
remember.
it's not gonna happen.
During that time, arcades were all about one-player games. And the way they tried to steal your money was by making them completely unfair. Like, games stopped even giving you ways to heal yourself. You got one life in RoboCop. Like, you played RoboCop and you couldn't ever heal yourself and you had one life. And they would just make it so that you basically couldn't survive. And, you know, people got good enough that they could do it and such. But, you know, like, it was a very different time, and Street Fighter came around and was such a completely different phenomenon. Because we had games like Pit Fighter before. You know, we've had games like that, but the thing is, when you lost to the computer, you lost to a Zangief, and then you're like, man, this computer character's cheap. Well, then play the damn character. Like, that was never an option before. Street Fighter 2 was such a different and amazing thing that it really took the planet by storm, and that will never be replicated again. You know, that's like saying, oh, what's the next Pac-Man game that's going to take the world by storm? It just can't happen anymore because you need a new genre now. You need something that we haven't seen before, and that's what Street Fighter 2 was. Street Fighter 1, you couldn't even control when in your jump you did the attack. If you jumped and attacked, it would always be on your way down. Street Fighter 2 was not only beautiful, but also gave us a level of control that did not exist in any video game. Like when you play Karate Champ, half the time you do the same thing, and like the same thing doesn't come out both times. Street Fighter gave us a level of control that we didn't have, and it was just a crazy phenomenon. It will never happen again. It's never going to happen. A fighting game is never going to reach that level again. If Smash Brothers Ultimate can't do it, then no fighting game is ever going to do it again. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's facts. I mean, I would say the closest things we would have seen would be the Fortnite boom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And even that, I mean, it's obviously still extremely popular, but the boom lasted for like 4 to 6 months, right? Then it kind of leveled out to what it is now. So the only other thing that I can think of that may have been so very popular, but obviously was not competitive whatsoever, was Pokemon Go. The first like 2 months of Pokemon Go, everyone was playing Pokemon Go worldwide. Other than that, like, yeah, it's not going to happen unless every other competitive genre disappears from Earth. We're never going to see a fighting game the way that Street Fighter 2 was represented.
I mean, League of Legends might count as something that was kind of
maybe,
big,
yeah.
But
again, that new genre.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it had its time. I mean, it's still one of the most popular games in the world, but its time of like coming up happened already. That was a decade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the question is not, can you recreate fighting games? It's what's the next genre?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it's been fighting games, it's been shooters, it's been real-time strategy,
Right.
it's been MOBAs, it's been battle royale. Like, there's all these things that have come out. I'm sure something will be next. None of us knows what it'll be.
Yeah.
Something will be next, and that thing will blow up. But there's never going to be another fighting game that does that.
Riot fighting game can come out and be super popular. It'll never be what Street Fighter 2 was. And, you know, I mean, I've talked about this a lot because, you know, when I was living in that time, I mean, just the amount that everybody knew what Street Fighter was. Like, everybody knew what Street Fighter was. It was, like I said, the only other video game I've ever seen reach that level was Pac-Man. To me, Pac-Man was probably the most culturally iconic video game, and then Street Fighter 2. Like, those two
You are showing
games.
your age so
I was
hard
gonna
right
say,
now.
I feel like Mario is definitely a step up.
See, that's the thing, is I actually don't necessarily agree. While Mario was super, super popular and stuff, it's like a slow burn. It's like an existence over a time. But when Pac-Man was at its prime, like when Super Mario Brothers was popular in the arcade, keep in mind that the arcades were dead. Nobody played in the arcades. It came out on a home console. The console version was even like easier than the arcade version and stuff. Pac-Man, like, there was a song on the radio about Pac-Man. You know, there was literally a Pac-Man Fever song on the radio. And, you know, Street Fighter 2, thank God, didn't have a pop song on the radio, but like,
Indestructible.
all right, fair.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But I mean, it did, you know, it all at once. It had the cereal, it had the cartoon, it had the G.I. Joe, it had everything in 1 year, you know, whereas Mario has just been there the whole entire time. So I get it. Mario and Zelda are definitely up there, but in terms of like that flash, that one moment of time where like literally people who didn't play video games went and played it just because everybody did, and like if you didn't, you weren't cool, you know?
Sure.
For sure. Makes sense. Shoutouts to Warcraft 3, which not only had custom games that basically invented the MOBAs, but also reinvented tower defense. Shoutouts to that game.
Did it reinvent tower defense? I thought it invented tower defense.
Nah, they were basically games that were older that were like the same
Okay.
Like they were similar ideas. Like it wasn't the first like idea of it, but as far as reinvigorating, adding ideas to it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
You did back there.
Okay. Makes sense.
I played those games a lot. That is for sure. Well, the second place here, because we got through that one kind of quickly, is why do you think yearly releases or updates for fighters get a bad stigma while sports titles like Madden get away with it and charge full price every time?
Oh boy, as a former competitive Madden
That's
player,
right.
I can tell you.
That's right.
I can tell you exactly why.
Okay.
It's because people who play Madden, they're casual fans that play Madden, they're not buying a yearly Madden because they're expecting gameplay, huge like improvements or change anything. They're not expecting shit. What they're expecting is, I want to play with X amount of players, or I want to play with X player on X team, and there's only one option to do that, and it's EA's football game. That's it. So if you want to play with an updated roster, you buy the new game. If you really, really care that Tom Brady plays for the Buccaneers now, you have to buy this year's Madden. That's it. And to be fair, they don't really get away with it. People complain. They just buy it anyway. Because they literally don't have another option. There is one NFL football game.
Mm-hmm.
EA has a monopoly. That's it. So fighting game players get pissed off when there's not new features, there's not more characters, there's not more stages, because they have every right to, because they're looking at it as a video game. Whereas Madden players, casual Madden players, don't really give a shit about the extra features. They just want to be Tom Brady for, a couple of months, and they stop playing the game again until it comes out next year.
What do competitive players think about that? Like, is there like
about the yearly update? They look forward to it.
I mean, is there like an equivalent of like a ST or KOF 98 or like of Madden? Like, what's like the Madden that's like the best Madden? Does that exist, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, people have their favorites. A lot of people really, really loved Madden 2005. 2005 is like the pinnacle year for football games.
Okay.
So NFL 2K5 came out then. That was the last NFL 2K game to come out because then EA bought out the rights to the NFL. NFL 2K5 was a football game that was played for. It might still be getting updated now. It's on the original Xbox and PS2 and GameCube.
Wow.
But people played it easily for 10 years. People were updating the roster to play that game because it was loved that much.
Dude,
that year, Madden 05 was the year they added the hit stick and a lot of defensive options that just weren't there before. So back when EA had competition, they actually added a lot of stuff to their game every year. Now they don't have competition; they don't have a reason to.
Right. I mean, look, everyone's favorite NHL game is 26 years old right now.
That's true. That is true.
Yep. NHL 94 on the Genesis, I think, is still like the best hockey game according to most people.
Yeah, and they actually put that
that's not my
on.
view.
They put that on NHL 2018. They added it in the game.
Oh, really?
And you can play it online, so people
awesome.
could still play the game.
That's cool.
But if there's like a forever Madden, it's probably like 05. A lot of people liked 08. Some people prefer 2004, the Michael Vick year, because he was the best player in that game. It's just fun to play with. But I mean, people just the competitive players. I asked David. You asked about the competitive players.
Yeah.
Competitive players look forward to these updates because it's like how fighting game player, or really realistically any other competitive player, looks at patch notes, patch updates. That's what yearly Madden is. Usually during the season, they don't alter the game very much unless something is like completely and utterly broken. And even then, sometimes they just go, maybe we'll fix it next year. And so that's the competitive players look forward to. Hopefully this garbage mechanic is fixed for the next season. So the competitive players look forward to that. But again, they're not usually expecting ginormous changes. They're looking for some new features that maybe they can use to their advantage to win, because Madden actually has real prize pots, unlike the FGC. So they just kind of look at it as like the, from Street Fighter to 4 to Super Street Fighter 4. That's just kind of how they're looking for those patch notes, those updates, and obviously the roster update.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, I think from from as a fighting game player perspective, the nice thing about it is when you buy the next Madden game, like the previous Madden game, you're probably not really worried about it anymore because you just want it to be accurate to the team. If you're a big fan of, blah team, you want to have those players on your team to play. Yeah. The hardest thing about fighting games, and which is actually one things that Capcom is doing right over a lot of the other fighting games. A lot of the problems with the other fighting games is like, okay, let's say there's Soul Calibur. Well, there's no new way to buy Soul Calibur and get all the updates for the same price. Like when I had to do some stuff on Dragon Ball and I had to buy it on the Switch, I had to buy the game and then all the seasons, which makes it now $90. So it actually makes it harder for people to get into. If you're someone who's been there the whole entire time, if you're hardcore, yeah, of course you're buying them every single year, and so it's not as bad. But there's no way to get everything all at once, and which is why I really like Arcade Edition and Champion Edition that they made for Street Fighter V, because if someone's like, I want to get into Street Fighter V right now, I can be like, yeah, here's this $30 option that you get literally like 95% of the content in there. You're just missing a few costumes. And that's really nice to have. So,
and I mean, it was really nice to have until now all of a sudden we're getting an unexpected Season 5 or 6 or whatever it is for Street Fighter V now with Oro and Rose and Dan, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a complete package at one point, but now they're adding more content that I personally feel probably wasn't originally planned. I'm assuming that COVID maybe has something to do with that, and a delay on the release of Street Fighter 6 or the announcement of Street Fighter 6, because come on, they have to be working on that, right? Like I'm just guessing that they have to be working on that by now. So I would imagine a skeleton team is working on the Street Fighter V content. They probably didn't really plan on releasing anything beyond Seth, and now they're like, well, shoot, the world has changed. Let's push back Street Fighter 6 a little bit, add some more content to 5, and here you go. But yeah, I agree. I like those complete packages, especially for people that just weren't playing before. It definitely drags in new players.
Yeah.
Oro has a turtle.
I mean,
dude, I don't really dig Street Fighter V, but I'm really excited to see how they do Oro.
Dude, I'm so hyped for Oro. The turtle makes him that much more interesting of a character than he's ever been. But
he's going to be cool.
But David, what's your opinion on this? You didn't get a chance to answer yourself.
What's my opinion on it?
No, David.
Oh, okay.
I already talked
about it.
I mean, he knows more about Madden than I do. I don't know very much about it, but I do think that it's not really right that there is a lot of stigma against yearly updates and releases for fighting games. I feel like there's plenty of players nowadays who look forward to those changes.
Yeah.
And to new content. So I'm not sure that I agree that there really is a stigma in that way.
Yeah, the people that complain about yearly sports updates are people who don't play sports games. Right. And people who don't play sports games don't care about sports. So, of course, they're going to complain, period. Oh, you guys are buying the same game over and over again. Hockey doesn't change, which that's not true. So,
not really. That's true.
Sports fans are excited about these things. The only problem is EA doesn't have competition for the NHL. They don't have competition for the NFL, and their basketball game sucks. So 2K doesn't have competition for their basketball game. So there's a lot of monopolies and faux monopolies in sports games right now, and they're very stagnant because of it.
That sucks.
Yep, it does.
Shout out to NHL Stanley Cup on the SNES, my personal favorite hockey game.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I guess that's going to be it for a 5-5 matchup. There were a few others we didn't get to, but you can, of course, resubmit them for the future.
Come on. We've got to answer the Disney Princess one, right? I mean...
All right, James, what do you got?
I had to think about that one, but clearly Mulan would be my main character. Without question, right? I mean, she literally is a warrior. She's Chinese, and I'm going to be racist about it, so, she's gonna.
I don't know if that's racist.
That's not racist, but still. But she'll have a dragon to be able to dishonor on you. dishonor on your family,
Oh,
dishonor
okay.
on
So
your
we're
cow.
talking about cartoon Mulan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the
Not that
movie.
live action remake garbage.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
But okay.
Yeah, I'd 100% have to go with Mulan. Either that or even like Merida from Brave, right? Because bow and arrow, and she's actually a warrior. Yeah. She's a warrior as well. So, I mean, look, Pocahontas, you would argue, is supposed to be a warrior, but she's supposed to be like 15 years old, and she's actually like really tiny and stuff like that. So,
Oh, what, the real life Pocahontas was not the same? Yeah, she was not.
Does Hero from Big Hero 6 count as a Disney princess?
No.
Well then you took my answer of Meredith, you jerk.
Okay. You actually would have went with Meredith. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, I dated a Scottish woman for 2 years.
Oh, fair.
She definitely made me watch that movie a few times.
Okay.
Wasn't it Merida, not Meredith?
It is. I don't know. It was one of the two. Well, the way they pronounce it, yeah, it's like Merida.
I believe it's Merida.
But who knows how we say it here in America?
Actually, that's true.
I believe it was.
Elsa would be pretty buff too because she's a freaking X-Men.
Okay, that's cheap. That's a good one. I was personally gonna say Rapunzel from Tangled because I'm imagining using her hair like a command grab.
Well, like Milia? She's Milia?
No, not like Milia. Not at all like Milia. Instead, like a command grab. She's got Conra command grab.
Yeah, or like Super Scroll.
Okay.
Like Super Scroll.
Dude,
exactly right.
She would be a Dhalsim character? That'd be crazy, dude. Like,
she definitely would be.
Really Dhalsim. Oh, well,
I think her normals would be with her hair too. Like if they would have to,
makes
right?
perfect sense.
I'm in. And then because the game would be designed...
She's Chrome Dome, actually? Wow, this is the best.
Right. But the thing about it is, because it would be designed properly with proximity normals, her close-up attacks would be like a frying pan or something like that, right? So... Vanellope. That's true. She actually was in a video game, so...
Oh, Vanellope would be cool. Yeah, she's a cool character.
But I do like the idea of Lilo and Stitch as a puppet character.
That would be dope. Yo, can we just make this game?
Yeah, I know, right?
That sounds pretty sick.
I mean...
I feel like we should just make this game.
But you know what? We would have to make it so that Ariel just, like, flops around like Golding on the ground because, she's a mermaid.
No, you mean Magikarp.
Magikarp, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Magikarp. And then you would have, what is it? Beauty. She would probably attack with all of the furniture and all of the...
Yeah, oh, yeah, obviously.
She would attack
She would be like a Captain Ginyu.
Yeah, she'd be like, try the gray stuff, it's delicious! And, like, hurl shit at you and stuff, so...
This game could actually be ridiculously cool.
Sick. You guys want to bet to Disney?
I think I'm gonna make this game, and then
we can get a connection.
We're gonna get cease and desisted, and then we'll make like them's fighting princesses,
Girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumbelina is not a Disney character. Neither is Anastasia, so don't suggest those two characters.
Well. Yeah, that would be a dope game. But I will never see it.
Sleeping Beauty would have Jigglypuff rest. Oh my god.
It could be so... Yeah.
Genius.
This game could actually be ridiculously cool.
Genius tiny text. Oh my god.
I like this.
Princess Swan is not a Disney character. Stop it.
Oh, but this is actually a good point from Tigger FFS. Fox was bought by Disney.
Yeah, but they're not officially Disney princesses.
Aren't they Disney princesses now?
Remember, there is a Disney princess brand. Technically, Lilo is not one of them as well, so...
What? That's stupid.
Yo, Princess Leia might count as well?
She would never miss.
A Disney princess.
She would have Hawkeye Super, because she would never miss with her blaster shot, dude. Like...
Well, also, she's a Jedi now.
She's a Jedi, yeah. She could have some powers,
that's true.
For sure. Use the Force and whatnot. This game sounds so sick.
Dude,
yeah, I kind of just wanted to see this
kind of actually want this game, yeah. The Xenomorph Queen. That's a queen, not a princess.
I mean, Xenomorph Queen had to be a princess at some point. You can't just jump straight to queen.
That's a good point. Also, there was the one where, like, there's the mix of Xenomorph and human. That's like, you could say that's a princess. Could you say that?
I would think so, yeah.
I'm so confused. Okay.
It got weird. All right, let's talk about other stuff. There's some other game news to get to.
No,
Most of it was the DBFZ stuff.
Merida was part of the Disney Princess line. In fact, everybody got mad originally because the way that they rechanged, the Disney Princess line has a lot to be criticized about. So, for example, they made Tiana have far less, people of color, ethnic features. And then Merida originally was designed in the dress that she refused to wear in the movie that she hated. And they put her in that dress and everyone got mad because they were like, what the hell are you doing? This is obviously not what you're supposed... She didn't want to wear this dress. And then they gave it to her, so they had this whole thing where they had to rescind that and change it. They even put out all this video to, kind of take it back and stuff like that. So, trust me, Merida is definitely part of the Disney Princess line. Okay.
All right.
You okay? Cool.
I am definitely a Disney fan. I loved animation growing up. Definitely loved animation growing up. So. Were you messing with your own focus, David? Oh, you're zooming in. I see.
This is a professional show full of professionals.
All right. So, let's talk about some of the other stuff that remains. Street Fighter V has sold nearly 3 million... Well, not sold. It has nearly 3 million more players since it went free-to-play on PSN, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's huge. That hasn't been out for that long. That started just this month.
It's almost like when you give out a fighting game, people will try it out.
It seems like that might be right. Hard to say. But at least, well, almost 3 million. The tweet that was about how it was 2.7 million new players, that was already most of a week old. Yeah, that was 5 days ago. So, maybe it's 3 million by now. I don't know. But that's pretty cool regardless. Also, super big news for Street Fighter V. Ryu has a Kairi costume from Fexel.
You know what?
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's actually a dope costume too.
I do agree that someone said that it should have been Akuma, because Kairi does have a dive kick, and so it actually would have made more sense to be the Akuma costume. What's cool though is that they just acknowledged that EX existed, right? So,
right.
I mean, the fact that they're putting Akira in the game, and then now they're putting a Kairi costume. So I made the joke of who should get the Skullomania costume. I liked a lot of the answers that Fuerte should have. That would have worked really well, but Fuerte's not in the game. Rashid was a good answer. But then someone said, what if they're doing this because Skullomania is the 5th character?
Oh, that would be godlike. I'm about it.
That would be amazing.
I was
That'd be really cool.
Yes, please. And that
maybe they could finally make that character interesting.
And I mean, look, the character in terms of moveset is not the craziest thing, but that's just EX in general. But lore, I mean, come on. He's got
lore is good.
The greatest lore. And not only that, but this goes on with Olaf's theory that the 5th character is 100% a guy, right? It has to be a guy. Because
why does it have to?
Because when you looked at the timeline that they showed up, it was like, Rose comes with 18 costumes. Oro, 2 costumes. Here comes Akira with 78 costumes. And then the 5th character, unrevealed, 3 costumes. So, it has to be a guy, right? And so Skullomania seems like the perfect fit for that. Especially
but also, Skullomania is a perfect character to get 55 costumes.
But he only has 3 costumes, dude. He only has 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. So maybe it's not Skullomania. Maybe I'm crushing your dream already.
And there is that one art where every character was dressed like Skullomania. So maybe along with the Skullomania release, like the tracksuit costumes, they give everybody a Skullomania costume.
That would be cool.
I got bad news for you guys about whether it's Skullomania.
Oh, okay.
It's not Skullomania.
How do you know?
Okay.
I've been there.
You've been there? You've
Yep.
seen it?
I've
Wait,
been there.
Well,
What is-
damn.
what does that mean?
He's been there.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
I don't believe you right now, so you're right.
The PS5 showcase is tomorrow, Wednesday, September 16th at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
I think that was
Gonna be
less
40
crushing my stream dreams than confusing
40
the
minutes
hell out of
long.
me. But anyways, continue.
It'll have updates from both in-house and outside devs. We'll see what they have. You know, I haven't seen any rumors about anything specific that they're gonna have, but that's cool. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m.
They're
our time.
almost for sure going to announce the release date and price.
Yeah.
And if I was a betting man, I would
Yeah, that
say
makes-
that at the end of the show, they say pre-order now because you can't pre-order the Microsoft system yet. So I think that's going to be Sony's one up on them is they're going to allow people to pre-order right away.
All right, that makes sense. How much is it gonna cost, Tubo? Have you been there?
I have not been there, but if I was a betting man again, I would say $4.99 and $5.99.
And do you
That's what I'm
do you think that they're going to be, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but do you think they're going to be like geniuses like Microsoft and give us a payment plan?
No, they sure aren't. So Microsoft actually started that. They put that in beta with their last Xbox One console. Like that's not a new thing for them. Yeah, you
okay.
can make payments on whatever Xbox One Series, XL, Super, Smorgasbord, whatever the hell they call that console, right? So I don't think that Sony's going to do that. I really wish they would, so my broke ass could buy one. But
Same.
yeah, so I don't think they'll have a payment plan. If they were smart, they would, and then they would also start pushing PlayStation Now on people because Microsoft is really killing it with their Games Pass.
Yeah, so far I like what we've known about the Xbox One. It's quite the flip from the last.
The only problem
Keeps going
the only
back
real
and
problem
forth.
with their console is they don't have good exclusives, right?
Yeah.
All they have is Halo and Gears, and other than that, nobody really cares.
It keeps
And
going
Halo's
back.
delayed.
It keeps going back and forth because 2 generations ago it was the 360 that was the better console, right? And
Yep.
now, and then last generation PS5 was the best. PS4 was better, and now it might be going back because whoever falls behind is the one that always needs to catch up. So
Yeah. I think for us though, in particular in the FGC, we're just gonna buy whatever console people are playing fighting games on, and it's looking like PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 because it has full backwards compatibility with PlayStation 4 games.
yeah,
So we're just gonna be moving on over to Sony. That's what I'm planning for. I don't plan on getting an Xbone unless I end up with an extra $35 a month to pay for their the payment plan on their new console. But other than that, I'm assuming we're all going to be moving over to the next Sony console.
Yeah, I feel like I'll probably be doing what I'm doing this console generation, which is primarily playing on PC and then PS4 if a fighting game is just on PS4.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Seems
probably
right.
what I'll
Seems
keep up.
right.
Okay, and then in community news, Yoshinori Ono put up a chain of tweets saying that he will officially leave. This was on September 9th. So if it has happened officially now, I'm not sure what the actual day is, but he definitely put up a set of tweets that said, within several days, I will officially leave Capcom.
Okay.
We talked about it before.
When he first
how
announced
is-
it. When he first announced it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had discussed this before, so there it is.
Well, thanks, Ono. Hope you have a good time doing whatever you're doing next.
Totally, yeah. I wish him well in the future, for sure. I don't have anything negative. Can't quite finish the sentence, but he did. I will say this, and I mean this without any irony. I thought he did a very good job as being the public face of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
His interfacing with the crowd and with fans and with people on Twitter and all of that side of things was really strong.
Energy and stuff.
Yeah, energy,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, he was a funny guy. I think that was a well played role for him. So if that's something that he could do elsewhere in the future, I don't know what he's doing, but I think that's the kind of role that probably fits him better than game development.
Right. Yeah, I would hope nothing but the best for him in the future.
Well, you know, I mean, at some point, people will talk about how development went with him there. But
At some point, yeah.
those stories are not for me to tell.
At some point.
I'm staying decidedly quiet right now.
You're being very quiet. Yeah, I just can't talk about it. I mean, it's just not stuff that is mine to tell. But at some point, that'll happen, I'm sure. All right, there were other things that happened, but not that many of them. I wanted to shout out this video that was put up by Melee Stats called Michael vs. Bananas, the only reason we play Melee. Super good video. I highly recommend it. It's essentially on how players create the Melee that they want, arguments about rules and characters and different play styles, and it's done in a way that is very applicable like to anything. Like, the stories are definitely about Melee, but you know, many of the ideas are the same kinds of things that we've talked about in the FGC over many years. Which characters do you soft ban? Which characters do you not? Like, it's taken to a greater degree in Melee just because of how the rule set works.
Right.
But the idea was similar, and
Okay.
I thought that was not just applicable to fighting games themselves, but like to any games. Like, it made me think about how recently some baseball people were upset that somebody was running up the score in baseball. Like, that was an unwritten rule that you're not supposed to do. What are you talking about? But there are people who care about baseball in a way that's just like not how I do. And same thing for any competitive kind of thing that you play. So anyway, I really recommend it. It was really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw someone mention it. I saved the link to it, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So
About half an hour. It was really well done.
Wow,
Really good production as well.
Okay.
All right. Then, a couple things happened out of Twitch. One is great. They're doing Versus by Twitch, which is a upcoming thing that they're putting kind of a beta out for. That is a set of tools for tournament organizers, players, and viewers, all kind of in the same place. End-to-end tournament organization suite. And in that, you know, you can create a bracket, you can follow it, you're streaming it, the player can do it. I don't know exactly what it entails because I haven't seen it yet, but this is what it's saying about it. It's going to be out for a limited number of streams. We have applied for it because I did it on Ultra Chen TV.
Cool.
I'd love
to for it too.
How that looks. Yeah, I mean, whoever gets it, I'm very curious to see how that looks. That integration could be super cool.
I haven't heard about
they
this.
wanna have-
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's a closed beta test for now, and
I mean,
we'll
is it
see
supposed to
what
be?
happens.
Is it supposed to like replace like trying to run tournaments on Smash GG and Challenge and stuff like that?
I assume that's the idea. They're a little bit vague about it in the post that they put up, but I assume that that's the idea. Yeah. Pretty cool. And then the other thing that happened out of Twitch in an announcement this past week is that they're going to be forcing ad rolls on viewers.
Yeah.
Mid-roll ads, and they could just come whenever. If a viewer hasn't been shown an ad in a while, they'll just get an ad. And that could come at any time, which I think is a pretty interesting idea. Maybe that will be more value for the viewers. I think the viewers would love it if there were to be an ad that were to be run immediately, just randomly in a conversation that people are talking about.
Yeah, it's going to be awful. Or it is awful for the
Or
people
like
that have already been
during the final
experiencing
hit
it.
of a tournament, like super tense tournament. Oh my God, it's coming down to the last hit. What's gonna happen? Hi, you're gonna want to do the KO. You hear the audience screaming, the commentators are yelling, and you'd be like,
So
"Come by
that's
this
gonna
crazy
happen.
thing."
all that's going to happen is more people are going to use ad blockers. That's it.
Did you
Isn't
run
it
an
something
ad,
to be like
David?
20% of people don't use ad blockers the way it is now on Twitch? Like, I think it's something like 1/5 of their audience isn't using ad blockers. So they're going to turn that 1/5 into like 1/10.
All the advertising revenue from the ad I just played. Oh, so much. Oh, I'm bathing in all of the ad revenue that we're getting. probably $2. Ads don't really produce a lot of revenue for
Streams.
anybody,
Yeah.
for Twitch or for streamers. They produce some for sure, and you're right that a huge percentage of people use AdBlock.
Yep.
I mean, I have AdBlock installed. I whitelist a lot of things. I whitelist Twitch generally and YouTube generally, and I whitelist news sites that I read and people whose blogs I read. Like, there's stuff that I definitely whitelist, but I have it on there by default, and I think a lot of us do. So that's something that it's just built in. I saw a tweet from Hanzo Gonzo, who I thought was right about this. That lots of PC viewers, ads just aren't part of the equation anymore because of AdBlock.
Yep.
And maybe they're subscribing or whatever as well, but AdBlock. And at the same time, there are still other ways to watch Twitch on your mobile phone, on a platform like on the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever. Like, there's other things you can watch it on. And those viewers will get more ads. They will see more ads. So good luck to everybody watching on your phone. That's cool. Have a blast.
I mean, so far the response to their tweet announcing it is like 98% like WTF. Like, some people are, most people are mad about it. I even saw like one response from some dude like named Ultra David, and I saw another one from somebody's account like the Keats or something, and another one by a Nothing Excess,
Sounds like a nobody, nothing. Interesting.
No, but I mean, a lot of people responding to it, honestly, were just like, what the hell? Like, some people were even like, I intentionally don't run ads. That's kind of like where I'm at. I actually don't run ads when I stream a lot of the time, because
the majority of streamers don't.
Yeah, I just have no reason to, and that's probably why Twitch is doing this, because they can't fulfill the promise to the advertisers that are trying to pay for space, right? I mean, they're only getting the ads on entry, and people are probably not running it, and so they're like, well, we've got to force the ads in order to be able to sell this ad space, because we're losing our power to sell this ad space because nobody's actually using the ads on our website.
100%.
Yeah. If only they had some part of the set of companies and operations that Amazon owns that was making money. Unfortunately, it's a tough year, as we all know.
Amazon is gonna have to make some cuts. That Jeff Bezos, he's not going to get 10 new mansions this year. He's only going to get 9.
I mean, exactly. If you think about it, the idea of free home delivery for any product you can imagine, just in 2020 doesn't make any sense. Right? Nobody's using Amazon this year.
I mean,
certainly not.
God, the amount. Every time I tell people to use the Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime thing, I'm just like, dude, this is only Bezos' money, dude. Like, please use it to somebody. Because if you don't use that Twitch Prime, that's Bezos' money that you are not spending, dude. Like,
it's just like a weird decision on Twitch's part. I feel like this is the kind of decision that comes from the marketing team. The marketing team has never watched a Twitch stream in their life. Like, they're not somebody. They haven't sat there and been like, what's good about this? What makes sense about this? And so they just stick ads in it because they can make money, but they've never thought about the fact that will harm the experience for many people. It's not always, it's not often even going to be the case that somebody who's just watching a Twitch stream, just whatever, gets shown an ad in a 30-second clip where like something exciting happens. It's not going to happen often, but it will absolutely happen sometimes. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's going to happen regardless of the size of the stream. Like, it's going to happen for the big streams, it's going to happen for the small streams. And that's going to be obnoxious.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's a bad look. I hope they find a better way to do it. I hope they don't do it at all. I mean... Yeah.
It's a stupid
They've said this is an experiment, and that they're going to see how it will go. And I felt bad for whoever's running the social media account, because this is definitely not their call. And they're having to be on Twitter like, hey, keep in mind, it's just an experiment. They don't have any control over this.
Right.
Doing that.
It's definitely social media bot 3000 that's probably doing it right now, keep in mind that it is a
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. That's weird. Will that actually make more people use ad block? I don't know. Maybe some.
I think so. I think it will.
I mean,
And will I actually hustle more for subscriptions because my ad revenue will be down? Nope.
Dude, if anything, your ad revenue is going to go up. You're going to you still get part of that ad rev.
Yeah, I just wonder what the... Yeah, I mean, sure, but will I be making more money than I will be losing because more people will have ad block?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, plus another thing, too,
Seriously,
is that...
somebody asked in the chat, how much does a streamer get for playing an ad to a single viewer? And it's a penny. I mean, it's not literally a penny, but sometimes it's less than a penny, and sometimes it's slightly more than a penny.
Oh, it's
Like,
way less than a penny. If you stream it to one viewer, yeah.
Yeah, right, and it matters how many viewers you're streaming to.
Right.
The Ultra Chen, I'm actually going to look it up right now. How much money do we make per month?
With our
based
one
on
ad, with our
only
one
ads?
one ad, an episode. Well, I guess
Well, I
on
mean,
your,
I run
Yeah,
an
yeah.
ad in the middle of streams that I do
Right,
in the
right.
mornings. Ads in the last period, $100.
for the last
So,
month,
I mean,
basically.
Yeah, for the last month. That's not nothing.
Yes.
But considering the amount of hours that I stream for on this channel and that we do, and it's very, very small amount of money.
That's
for
so sick.
you.
That means if we keep running these ads, in a year we could buy 2 PlayStation 5s for ourselves using the Ultra Chen ad money.
Oh, you mean exactly what we've been using Ultra Chen TV for like 10 years?
Yeah.
All we've ever done with it? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes. But
For
I mean,
sure.
to be fair,
Yes,
even though
$100, we get to eat out at a restaurant.
I mean, to be fair,
In
too.
Los
I mean,
Angeles.
even subscriptions, you're not making much, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean subs are definitely more than that.
yeah, subs are more than
Sure.
that. But like, you
We're-
have to
we're
get
making-
up to 1,000 subs to be making enough to actually, like, wow, this is significant. I can kind of live off of this now,
Yeah, our total revenue last month was like 550 or something like that, including subscriptions. So
Okay.
it's not $0.
But I mean, think about that. Like, my Twitch revenue for my own stream is significantly smaller than that. And that is one of my primary sources of income right now. So,
Yeah, no, it's not a great. We talk about this. It's not a great business model, buddy.
God.
All right, that's all I had for community stuff.
Cool.
I'm in kind of in tune with one of the questions out there. Among Us with Justin has been pretty fun.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to chat about that. Oh, I should say for upcoming stuff this weekend, there will be CPT Online Southeast Asia #2, which you're
Yeah.
commentating.
Yes.
There will be Tekken World Tour Korea, which is a good one. That's going to be one to watch. And there's going to be Celtic Throwdown, which will have Uniclear, MK11, Soul Calibur 6. And I will be
I'm
commentating.
actually hoping that we can also do something like I think they're trying to do this. I think the uni community is actually trying to do this, but just calling it uni. You know how like we just say SF or Tekken, I think we should just start calling it uni. And that's it.
Okay.
And just leave it that way. So
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense to me as well, for sure.
because at this point, Uniel, Unist, Uniclair, whatever is just like, it's too much now.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yep, it's just SF2.
Definitely.
Or ST,
But yeah, the Among
Yeah.
Us thing was actually
Keep it
kind of
short.
fun.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Let's talk about the other stuff that's going on. Yeah, so you played Among Us, I played Among Us, Tubor played Among Us.
Yeah.
Let's chat about it. Why is it
Uh,
the best game of 2020?
I don't think it's the best game. I think it's very easily figured out.
I think it's not good at all, and I
I
was
think
bored
it's
of it in 2
extremely
hours.
easily figured out. Yeah, I mean that's because of the group of people you play with, David. You're playing with Keats.
Dude, I as soon as I figured it out, I was like, this group of people literally half of them game designers, the other half
Yeah.
of them just competitive fighting game players.
Yep.
We're just gonna figure it out. Like it'll be done.
But see, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so-
I don't know if it's actually figured out. Like, what's the strategy for figuring it out?
Let me break it down for you, James.
Now this does depend on the rules as well. So under
Right.
the-
Okay.
So no matter what rule set you have, there's always going to be a kill cooldown.
Has
And
to
it
be.
doesn't matter if you show the imposters getting thrown out or not, because you can set it so it doesn't say the person was an imposter, right? Mm-hmm. The way you figure out the game as a crewmate is you all run together. One person does all their tasks. The next person does all their tasks. The next person does all their tasks, and you never break apart. You run as one unit.
I
It is
disagree.
impossible for the killers to get away with it. At
I
that point.
disagree.
And you're just going on the clockwise path the entire time, so everybody knows what you're gonna do.
You can-
Occasionally, the imposter will try to sabotage something. You all walk there together. You have pre-planned
I
routes that
disagree.
you go from one location to another.
I disagree. Because of
Okay,
all
how
of-
do you get through that?
kill somebody? How do you know who killed him? The kill range is
You
very
can, you
far.
can see it.
You can't.
You can see it.
There's no animation.
There is animation, James. What are you talking
Only
about?
when your character dies, there's animation. The guy just instantly turns into a dead body. There's no animation. If 6 people are bundled together and they die, you don't see the killer go up to them and kill them. The guy just goes.
Don't be literally on top of each other if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
supposed-
Extend the
your
kill
spike's
range
not
then.
supposed to be merging.
Then you extend the. No, the kill range is like fucking SPD, dude. You don't have to be right next to each other to kill each other. So you'll have
Well,
6
you
people.
you can figure it out even in that case. What if you have a square of 9 people and one on the bottom corner dies? Only 3 people could have killed him.
No.
Yeah, it
If you
becomes
can
really easy
extend
to
the
break
kill
down.
range, you can extend the kill range, and as soon as that one person dies, you still don't know which one killed him. You could just be like, "It was that guy. It was that guy. It was that guy." Same game.
You've narrowed it down
that
to
you've
3
played.
people.
No, you don't.
And within just a few turns, it's over.
No, I disagree with that.
You would have to make the kill range full screen.
You cannot possibly make it work out that coordinatedly well. I really
We
honestly
did
doubt it.
We made it happen.
Yeah,
We did
we
it.
actually did.
Yeah, but the thing
we-
is,
When you
we
kill
did it.
somebody, teleport on top of their body.
they don't teleport to their body. I don't remember teleporting to their
I
body.
could have swore that you do. I could have swore that you do. That when you kill someone, you go on top of
Well,
them.
look, I mean, Hero's
That's why I
saying
said there
this,
is
and
an animation.
like Hero definitely would know.
There's not like a stabbing animation, but if you're there and the person you kill is here, you go like that. I'm pretty sure.
That seems odd because I don't remember.
Now,
seeing
if
that.
if that isn't a thing, then yeah, our situation doesn't solve the game.
Yeah. Mhm.
But,
I mean,
but I'm
if-
pretty sure that is exactly what happened.
if it does teleport, because I was under the impression that you did not, because I've definitely walked past people, killed them, and keep going, and I don't remember teleporting back to them and killing them. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
interesting.
so with some other rules, this may not work as well. If you have
Right.
more imposters, or if you have
A bigger kill rate
whatever
radius, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that you can change to make this
Right.
not work quite as well. But I'm not at all interested in figuring those rules out. Like,
I mean-
if my buddies want to play another night, that's cool. Like, we've had some fun, but trying to figure out how to make this game into a competitive,
right.
interesting, strategic.
Oh, that's
battle
not the
is like-
point. But that's not the point
Not
either,
good.
right?
Yeah.
You're not trying to make it an interesting strategic thing. It's more just about people having a lot of fun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Well, I mean,
Dude,
even in Justin's Discord, he was saying like, "Yeah, I'm trying to be a tryhard in Among Us. I want to get really good at it." And I told him the strategy on how you can never lose as a crew member. He was like, "Well, yeah, but that makes the game not fun, so I won't do that. I'm just gonna run off and do my task." I was like, "Well, exactly. You're not tryharding then. You're not trying to win. You're trying to have fun
Right.
and figure out how to accuse people or figure out if they were the imposter. Like
I mean,
that's
it's
different.
more about just the,
Tryharding is running in a group and making sure that the imposters can never win.
right now. Like I said, if the teleport doesn't happen, if the teleport happens, yes, then that's it. Game is over at that point. Because we did get to a point where 4 people were bundled, and nobody was sure who the killer was, and I turned off the lights, and then Sajam died, and nobody could figure out who killed him because all 4 people were right next to each other. and nobody could figure out who killed him.
That just only lasts so long. Even that. I mean, that's that's not that's.
And also, if you're all together, nobody's going to be in the electrical room to shut off the lights, because you have to go to the electrical room to kill the lights. Right,
exactly. So the lights.
So if you're all together, it's impossible for the killers to do that, for the imposters to do that.
This is definitely like Fall Guys. Absolutely. Shay.
Oh no, I think it's completely different.
It's not good. It's not good. It's fun only in the sense that you and your buddies can make each other lose, and that's kind of amusing to do.
Yep.
I mean, when I was playing and I was having fun, it was, if I was the imposter, I just killed somebody one time, and when I got accused, I literally laughed so hard that I could not even defend myself at all. I just did a Joker laugh for like 2 straight minutes.
Yeah, I remember I said let's vote David out just because of the stupid Joker laugh.
I couldn't even talk. That was fun.
So,
and then there was a round when I tried to kill people as the crewmate. I was trying to kill people as the crewmate. I was accusing people left and right. That was fun. And as soon as there was anything that was more to it, one round I tried to take it seriously. I just was like, this is...
Yeah. To be
all
fair...
All right, guys. Let's go do our tasks. What a fun video game.
To be fair,
not good.
All of us
Time for tasks.
All of us playing agreed that Ultra David would be the least fun person to play the game with. Because we were like, he's going to troll everybody, and if he could kill people as a crewmate, he would. And he wouldn't.
I did. I got people killed on purpose.
Yeah, he made every effort.
But that's it. There's no... I mean, to try to play the game seriously is to remove the fun.
Yeah, I think if you want to play an Among Us type game and you want to play it seriously, I think Secret Hitler is a much better game for that. I think it has a lot more depth. So...
Yeah, I mean, that's Reactor Meltdown kind of does force people to split up because you have to enter multiple codes. I don't think if you go in a group, one person can fix that in time.
No, that's when you break off into 2 groups of 4 or 5 if you don't count the imposters.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, in those situations maybe, but there's still, it's not like a fun strategy. It's just a mix-up. You know what I mean? It's the difference between getting thrown or getting hit, and that's not what makes a fighting game interesting. It's everything else that goes on around it.
I think it's.
I got killed by Keats, and I think it was Zansam, and was it you who died as well? Somebody else died. There were 4 of us who were trying this strategy, and the 2 imposters were working together, and they killed both of us at the same time. And that's just not going to happen very often. Sometimes, but. Not usually.
Anyways, it's a fun game if you play for funsies. It's not very fun if you try hard.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't even think Fall Guys is fun if you play it for funsies. Like
but I mean I think it falls under the same category, right? Of like if you don't take it serious, you can probably have fun. I mean, if a lot of people just don't like Fall Guys. I can't even not play Fall Guys not seriously.
It's not for me.
Like I can't even play Fall Guys not seriously. You know what I mean? Like when I was playing Among Us, like it's just fun to try doing stupid shit. Like I got found out I was the imposter right away because I jumped out of a vent and Justin ran in and was like, "Oh shit!" and I chased him. I couldn't kill him because I was on a kill cooldown, which is fine. It makes total sense. I'm okay with that. And so he called the emergency meeting. It was like, "It's James." I saw him jump out the vent, and then I was like, "God damn it!" I was like, I'm so mad, whatever. I just want to play another game, so I'm going to end this game right now. And I just said, Ringe is the other imposter. And then that was it. And I was done. And everybody else was like, what the hell? And like the last part came down to Cloud, Ringe, and one other person. And they were like, but wait, James said this, but he probably was lying. But maybe he actually was salty. And it actually messed them up. And Cloud won because he was the other imposter. And, like, that shit is hilarious. The first game I ever played, I was like, how do I do my tasks? I don't understand this.
See, so that I can tell this whole story. So the only reason you got to play the old man card of, how do I do this, was because it literally took you 35 minutes to figure out how to open up Steam, accept the friend request, accept the game gift. So everybody's just like, holy shit, James doesn't know how to work a computer. It
seriously,
makes sense.
Like, the gift never showed up. It never showed up in the little envelope notification thing. Seriously, it never did. And it's not my fault that my credit card got declined when I tried to buy the game, dude.
Jesus.
Like,
I mean, that might kind of be your fault.
right. But I mean, like, literally when the game started, I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, how do you, like, where, like, they're like, check the map for this, and I was like, how do you do the map or whatever like that? And then Justin was like, 100% James is the killer. He's totally old manning us. And then the third imposter, Tuba, was like, no way, James is not like he would, like, you stuck up for me so badly.
I did, yeah.
And it was amazing. And then in the end, I was the imposter and I won. And it was
You're welcome.
hilarious.
That was the Ultra Tubo Chen
Yeah.
TV help. See, I knew we were all on the same team. But now that I realize I'm not in the starting video, I'm never helping you out with anything else. So
I just there's a lot of funny things I think you can do with the game, to be honest with you, and that's just the way it works. So
I'll never know.
I don't feel like I could have fun
I'll
like
never
that in
find out.
Fall Guys. Like, I don't feel like there's anything I could ever do in Fall Guys that would make me think the game is fun, but that's just me. So
They added some more random elements.
they did, yeah.
That helped. They did.
yeah, it was like what the thing that like launches you forward randomly or some shit.
I don't know. I'm not gonna play it. I have no idea.
Okay.
Hey, we have Steam codes. Anybody interested? We have Steam codes for footsies. So let us know if you're somebody who's interested in this. We have 5 of them, and we'd like to give them out. If you're interested in playing footsies on Steam and testing out the rollback netcode that Hi-Fight has put in there, let me know. If I see more than 5 people say yes, we run the poll. We run the random.
Oh, you don't
factor,
ask
whatever.
that. You just run it. I'm running it right now, dude. I'm setting.
You're
it
already
up
doing
right-
it? Okay, I
I'm
see
setting
that.
it up right now. You don't ask.
Yeah, we're big screens now, David.
You don't ask. Oh yeah, you're right. I gotta move this over here. What the hell just happened? Okay.
You broke it.
There we go. So now you guys should be over there.
The sweepstakes.
Okay. So not the commands, giveaways. Here we go.
But it was fun to do a stupid Joker laugh for like 2 straight minutes. I will give it that.
I
was
mean,
fun.
yeah, the game is fun for what it is, but I don't think trying hard is the way you play it. That's why when we were playing with Keats and them, I just would run off and do my tasks on my own.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you guys need to hurry up and do your tasks because I'm already done. Every single game, I was like, I'm already done. Everyone's
Right.
like, well, we're running as a group because we want to win. I'm just like, that's not fun. That's not how you play the game, man.
Right.
You should watch the Melee Stats video. It's exactly about this conversation.
Is it?
It is.
All right. So
Yeah,
you
but
can,
Melee's a fighting game, so...
you can actually put an ! raffle to enter yourself into the raffle.
Oh, hey, James, can you put like a video of footsies up on the stream where my head currently is or something?
I don't have
If
the.
people don't know what
Let me grab the
it looks like.
doc then, because I closed all my web pages, which is why I haven't been putting anything up on the stream and stuff. Because
Okay,
I
well,
just
whatever.
wanted
It's not
to-
that
I
big
just
of a
wanted
deal.
to make it-
Just look up footsies yourself if you're somebody at home. It's a very pared down idea of a fighting game, and it really does just pare it down to footsies. You only have a few different options.
It's
It's
by
fun. It's
Hi-
really
It's by
they really
Hi-Fi.
did a good job.
That's all you need to know is that Hi-Fi created it, and the man puts in, like I said, he's got a time turner. He puts in more work than anybody in the FGC. So you want to beta test this for him because you want to support Hi-Fi because Hi-Fi is awesome. Where's your mouse at here? I just opened the document, David.
Yeah?
Where's your cursor at?
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're asking.
You were asking me to put up a video. You said you had a video on. You were.
I did not say I had a video. I said, can you put up a video?
Yeah, can you put up?
Okay. I thought you said you had a video in the document where your mouse cursor was, and I was like,
Oh, no.
okay.
But again, it's, people can Google themselves.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. Check it out. All right, how long are we going to have this raffle in here. We got 18 people who have entered.
Yeah, actually, it's not gonna be easy for me to get this video up
No,
here.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's
Don't worry about it.
5 names out of the hat.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Pick me.
we have 17 entrants. We have 18 entrants now. Yeah, I know. This bot is going nuts, dude. It's crazy. All right, I'm just gonna pull out 3 names right now. Then, ready?
I'm ready.
First winner is Sunny51.
Okay.
So I'll announce that in the chat over here. So let me know if you want that.
Woo,
I'm-
baby.
Next one is Crimson Wander.
Okay.
Let me know if you want that. And then finally, the last winner is Tubaware. Let me know if
Hey,
you
I
want.
did it.
Do you want the thing, Tubaware?
Hell yeah, I want the code. I'm gonna play the shit out of footsies.
Oh.
I was just gonna give you one, dingus.
Oh, all right. Well, then somebody else can win if you have
All right,
another one.
Denied! He has been denied. So Crimson Wander and Sunny51 want their copy. Tubaware has
Alright, very
been
good.
denied. And the last one is Pras F1.
I see. Okay.
Pras F1. Let me know if he's in here and he wants his copy of Footsies. Oh, I should announce it into the thing. Sorry, my bad. There you go. Pras F1 has been drawn. I'll take it, he says.
Hey. All right, we got
There
3
you go.
takers. Huzzah.
End of
All right,
the
cool. I
round.
have recorded your names. Sunny51, Crimson Wander, Pras F1. You are the winners of the High Fight Footsies Steam Beta Code.
And I have closed the raffles. They are no longer on. And my cat is
Sweet.
rubbing.
Yeah, my cats are getting pretty hungry as well. I gotta go give them food at some point. That's it, I guess. Anything else to talk about? You guys want to bring up anything else, or are we gonna skedaddle here?
New Tekken
I have
Hero?
nothing else.
New Tekken.
All right, well, let's skedaddle.
Oh wait, actually, I do. I want to plug James.
What the hell? I was sitting here
So
trying to
James plugged me last week, so I'm gonna plug him.
That's
If
true.
you guys haven't been watching his stream, James actually just put up a donation fund for a new PC because his PC is trash.
Yes.
And it's what runs our show. It's why you see all the audio desyncs, not only when he streams on jchensor, but also on Ultra Chen TV. James does all the editing for this channel and his own channel, and it would be really, really, really helpful, not only for him, but for myself and David as well. So if you guys could, hit that donation next time you see him streaming, throw him $5 or whatever, it would go a very long way to help him get a new PC.
That would be cool.
True.
And that's it. That's all I had to plug.
Okay.
All right, thanks for plugging James. I appreciate that.
I was also going to say 3 days they're announcing the new hero in Tekken. So I'm excited about that. So we'll
Cool.
find out
Okay.
what color and what crazy new mechanic they're going to add to the game to break it again, and see also if they're actually going to, I don't know if they'll announce it, but see if they actually rotate any of the sets out as well, which will be interesting.
All right, well, in Combat League, you can earn a Bug Baraka, so make sure to check that out if you're interested.
Cool.
That's it. Let's skedaddle. Bird 'em.
All right, shoutouts to Commander Jesse in the chat. I see you.
Jesse, tell Mike the bonus he sucks.
Dang, what the? Where?
Dang.
What?
You know, they live not too far from each other in the valley, but they might as well.
They
Might
play
as
with
well
each
live
other.
1,000 miles away.
They play with each other when things are normal.
Yeah, well,
So
I play with both of them too.
we're plugging,
yeah.
we're
I forgot
plugging
you're all
each
the same
other,
age
and
group.
they're playing with each other. So
Yeah,
Correct.
nice.
and David
Alright,
has a
thanks,
blast in
David.
bed. All right, guys, later.
See ya.
And David hates hard pants.
Yeah, no more hard pants.